What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the alarm clocks, warning, take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in to another week of Sports 56 Mornings. Today, the Monday, April 15th, 2024 edition. Happy Jackie Robinson Day. Happy Patriots Day. Boo Tax Day. It's all today on this first day of the work week. Hope you had a great weekend. Lots happening in the world of sports. We'll talk about it here over the course of the next 3 hours. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their spring sale continues with factory direct pricing on just about everything in stock, including swimming pools, spas, and patio furniture. Check them out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Weather-wise, looks like it'll be another pretty nice day. It's currently 64. We're looking at a high today of 83 degrees, clouds and some sun, but mostly dry day. I mean, there's a very, very little chance of precipitation, but that'll roll in a little bit later on in the week. Tomorrow, make that tonight, cloudy sky, 68. So pretty warm for your evening. Again, it will be pretty much rain-free, just a 15% chance. So it could be a quick passing shower in your area. Coming up on the program today, we will recap everything that happened over the weekend, including the end of the NBA regular season, the end of the season for the Grizzlies. They'll have their exit interviews this morning, and unfortunately, it's an early exit for them after all the problems and issues they had health-wise during the season. We'll talk about that today. The NBA postseason ready to begin this week. We'll talk about the matchups that'll be coming up in the play-ins and the first-round matchups as well. From Augusta, Scotty Scheffler makes it 2 times in 3 years, his second green jacket. Last year, he put the jacket on John Rahm. This year, John Rahm puts the jacket on him. We'll talk about his 4-stroke victory. Also, Memphis basketball recruiting. Tigers land another player for next season. They also entertain a couple of more over the weekend, have another one coming in this weekend, or this week. So things certainly are hot and heavy over at the University of Memphis as far as recruiting is concerned. We'll talk about some baseball news, including some bad news on the pitching front for a contender. The Showboats take one on the chin as do a few other of the local teams, including Memphis 901 FC. And we may possibly twist Eli's arm and talk a little UFC 300 from the weekend, which was very eventful. We'll take your calls and your texts, as we always do, on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. We don't have any guests lined up, but could have the possibility of a special guest in hour number 3. That's your lineup again. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Another week here on Sports 56 Mornings. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Yeah?
UFC 300 was awesome.
I can't believe you watched. Now, who's twisting your arm to get you to watch MMA?
Nobody.
You have poo-pooed it for all these years.
I've not.
Oh, yes, you have.
I'm not like the huge fan of it, but I've watched probably of the last probably 6 or 7 UFC events, I've probably watched 4 or 5 of them.
You probably are at a bar, and it just so happens that you stay late, and then
Not the case at all. Watched it at home.
Did you really? I'm proud of you, my friend.
And it was awesome.
Well,
Max Holloway.
The
Max Holloway thing, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And then the Pereira dude is just that's a man I would not be wanting to step in a ring with.
Yeah, that was a mismatch. I didn't like that matchup for the main event, but he's incredible. But Max Holloway, 1 second to go in the match, KO's Gagey to win the BMF title. Some people tell me that they don't think those two should have been fighting for the BMF title, but Max was pretty BMF in that fight.
What he did at the end was as BMF as it gets. But you got to fight one, and you just say, "Hey, dude, come here. Let's just slug it out in the middle of the ring in the final 10 seconds, and then knock the dude cold with a second to go." It was one of the coolest things ever. What he did, I was like, "Well, I don't know why he's doing this, but by golly, this is fun."
Well, Gagey was all battered early in the fight, and then he got Holloway in trouble. It looked like Holloway was knocked down for the first time, but they didn't rule it a knockdown. And then, of course, Holloway, in the end, as you mentioned, with 1 second to go, you talk about excitement. Lights out with a second to go in that one. So, yeah, good action over the weekend at the UFC 300. We will talk Masters, as I mentioned, a little bit later on. Just another win for the best golfer in the world. And I think it's a good thing that his lovely wife held off. I'm not sure when the baby is going to come out, but it's a good thing that she didn't go into labor over the weekend, because I believe when Scotty Scheffler said that he would have left, just boom, would have left Augusta even with the lead. I believe it. I'm glad it did not happen, but wish him well when that baby does come out. But the miserable Grizzlies season has come to an end. And miserable not because of the organization or the lack of effort, because there was an effort every single time they stepped out on the court, and you can't say that for a number of teams. Yeah, there were some clunkers, certainly. But when you look at the lineup that they have rolled out for a good portion of the season, to compete the way they did, Friday night, which we'll talk about in depth, that Lakers game with the extra time that they ended up playing, and calls down the stretch that did not go against the Lakers and should have, against LeBron James specifically. They lose by 3. They battle the Nuggets. The Nuggets were playing for first in the West. They end up in a tie, but they end up getting the 2nd seed. But they battle again. Jake LaRavia, G.G. Jackson with 44 points on Sunday. So again, you can't really fault the effort, but nobody's into moral victories. And today, as I mentioned, will be the exit interviews later this morning. It'll be interesting to see what Zach Kleiman has to say, what their priorities are in the off season. But they end up 27-55 in a season in which they used 34 different players, over 50 different starting lineups. I mean, not only rough for them, but rough for the fans, especially those who bought season tickets. They were there through thick and thin, mostly thin. But what are you going to do? Those things happen in sports. Hopefully the basketball gods will pay back the Grizzlies in a positive way next season with a healthy season, because we know that they are certainly one of the better teams in the Western Conference when they are healthy.
Yeah, this is going to be obviously an interesting off season as they sort through the roster, figure out what direction to go with some of these guys. And then obviously when you're going to add a top 10 draft pick or have a top 10 draft pick, you could trade it or do whatever, but you got a top 10 draft pick to deal with and figure out how you want to use that. For a team that's trying to win right now, there's a lot of different things to consider, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what route they go this offseason and what this roster looks like on the fringe. I would you assume that the main group of guys are all going to be back. Obviously John, Jared, and Desmond. I would think Marcus Smart is still here next year. But then how do they do things around that group is going to be an interesting offseason to determine that.
Do you think there are a few teams in the West that have passed the Grizzlies, that even a healthy Grizzlies team next season, they have fallen behind several teams? Now, remember, they were second place for 2 straight years, the Grizzlies were, before this season. But do you believe there are teams that have passed them?
Maybe, but it's
hard to gauge, right?
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are one of the best teams in the West when healthy. I think they're right up. I think they would, if they had been healthy this year, I think they would have been right up there in that battle with Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota. I think they're good enough to be in that group. So, but every year in the NBA, there are going to be teams that deal with injuries. Obviously, the Grizzlies, nobody you would ever expect have to deal with the injuries to the level the Grizzlies dealt with them this year.
Right.
That's like outlandish. But, teams are going to deal with injuries. And hopefully it's not the Grizzlies in the future. Hopefully the Grizzlies have gotten it completely out of their system and can actually enjoy some health going forward. But yeah, I still think they're one of the best teams in the West.
The window's still open, I do believe. But it's so important in this offseason to figure out what they're going to do with Steven Adams gone and how they're going to work it with Jackson playing the 5, or will he play the 4 and they bring in a veteran center. Because still, the bottom line is you're going to have to knock off Denver. And, yes, getting to the Western Conference Final would be great, but really it's getting to the NBA Finals is what everybody wants to see. They want to see an NBA title here in Memphis. And while the window hasn't closed, there are still areas of improvement to be able to take down a team of that stature. I will still have to believe it when I see it, because even though we've seen the improvement in Minnesota and teams you mentioned, Oklahoma City, and then veteran teams, the Clippers, maybe this is the year that they make that run. Can anybody beat Denver? Again, I'll believe it when I see it. And Jokic isn't going away anytime soon, and he's still in the West as far as I know. So that's still going to be an uphill battle for the Grizzlies, even a healthy Grizzlies team. That's why I think the moves they make in this offseason are pivotal. What would you say, and you can't use the Marc Gasol jersey retirement night, which was sensational. Zach, I'll bring you in on this as well. What would you say are the couple of bright spots, the good news from this awful injury-plagued season? Zach, you want to start?
Outside of the obvious ones, you found you a backup point guard in Scottie Pippen Jr.
You believe so? You think he's the guy?
I think he's capable of doing it. He's capable of handling it. You're not asking him to take over Ja's position. You just wanting him to keep the second unit afloat. And I think he can do that.
Is Pippen better than Goodwin?
Yeah.
Is he, Eli?
As a point guard, yes.
As an overall combo guard, no, right?
Goodwin's just an amazing rebounder.
It's unbelievable.
I don't even know.
It's unbelievable what he does.
Part of that, like at the end of the NBA season, especially when you're playing games like the Grizzlies are, like
guys aren't going for rebounds.
If you're just willing to put some effort in to go for rebounds,
right.
You'll probably get a bunch of them. Because there are guys that just aren't even willing to put the effort in. So it can be a little deceiving when you're just playing out the stretch. But it's like. He does. He does make the effort. Like he goes to get rebounds constantly, and he ends up getting a ton of them. It's crazy for a guard to get the rebounds he's been getting over the last couple of weeks.
I'm still upset, although my book may not have offered Goodwin for double-doubles, but I'm upset that I went with Scottie Pippen as opposed to Goodwin, because Goodwin's double-doubles would have paid off handsomely. So would have Pippen's, but Pippen didn't get them. So I'm a little upset at that. But I don't think they offered, if I remember correctly, trying to look for him to get a double-double. So, Zach, I hear what you're saying with Pippen. The obvious is G.G. Jackson.
Yeah.
G.G. Jackson will be in that rotation next year. I don't care. I assume everybody's back and healthy and they're going to add, but there's no way, right, Eli? There's no way that you cannot have G.G. Jackson on the bench, getting splinters, not playing at all. This guy has to be a rotation player, right?
I think he's a fringe rotation. I think he's the kind of the end of the rotation.
So do you believe that...
By the way, John Barless a week early on his GG stuff. He should have done it this Friday because he had two 30-point games. Like he didn't get his 50 that John predicted, but
he was close.
He did have. He had 31 and 44. So John, you were a man before your time in your GG Jackson betting predictions.
And I was as a gambler, gambling on that premise by John. But yeah, with GG, do you think that a lot of these numbers are kind of, it's the end of the season. Some teams are trying, some teams aren't. Or, I mean, does he really have the goods? See, I think he really has the goods. I think he's that good a player.
I think he can play, no doubt. I mean, I certainly think he could end up being a massive steal where they end up getting him. But he took, he took 23 shots on Friday. He took 36 yesterday. Like, Gigi, that's not going to be
high volume. You're not going to get that.
Right. He's not. That would be dumb. Like that's not going to be the case. So can he be efficient? And when he's getting limited minutes and things like that, I mean, he can shoot it. Like that's to me the biggest thing about Gigi this year is that he was a way better 3-point shooter than I could have imagined. Like that surprised me right off the get-go when he was with the Hustle. Like he came out and right off the bat was hitting threes, and he shot like over 40%. I think it was in the showcase games with the Hustle from 3-point range. And that wasn't what I expected. I expected GD to be more just use his athleticism and be able to get to the rim, do things that way. I did not expect him to shoot the way he shot. And even with the Grizzlies, he shot the ball well. So if he can continue that can be a big part. That's where he can really get minutes as a shot maker, because we know you can never have too much shooting. And, we don't know what Luke Kennard's future will be here. Is Kennard back? Is he not back? If he's not back, certainly you need as much shooting as you can find anywhere. And if Gigi can be a 3-point shooter, that's a huge part of what he can be for this team, because he's always going to be able to get the shot off at his size, everything else. Like he's no problem for him getting a shot off whenever he wants to.
So he had 44 points. He did have 12 rebounds. He's a big guy, should be able to rebound the basketball well. He had a double-double. You talked about his 3-point shooting. He was only 4 of 13 in this particular game, but he has shown the ability to knock down the three. Now, that brings me to Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia had 29 points. Jake LaRavia went on a tear the last, 3 weeks of the season? I had written him off. I don't know if I want to write him back into the script, but what about his ability? He went 4 for 11 from 3. He's been shooting the 3. That's a guy who has to shoot the 3 to be on the floor at all. Is he now? I don't think he's a rotation player, but is Jake LaRavia, you think, back in the good graces of everyone? Or is this just...
I think LaRavia I think what he's shown... I think he is an NBA player. Like, do I think he's a rotation player on a good team? No. But he's a guy I think that will have again, a lot of it was injury related. He could just never get on the floor consistently, and you wondered, and now he's been able to do that, and he's shown the ability to knock down threes, which again is, I've always said, like, that's the one thing to me you got to see out of LaRavia. And he's shown the ability to do it here in the second half of the season, and especially down the stretch. where he shot it really well. I mean, from a Grizzlies perspective, is he a part of the Grizzlies next year? I don't know, but it doesn't look like he's a guy that you just have to release and eat the money. Like I would think you could trade Jake LaRavia, get out of the contract or whatever. Like he looks to me like a guy who's going to stick around in the NBA rather than what it looked like for a while when he'd be just like, you're just probably going to have to cut him and eat the money and he's going to be gone.
Right. And another, of course, positive to add to Zach's list is the obvious, and that's Brandon Clark coming back, looking like he was close to 100% with his hops. I know he wasn't. He was still getting adjusted to returning to playing basketball. But real positive to see what he was able to do. And then they shut him down, precautionary reasons, gave him a taste, thought he did a good job. Vince Williams, before he got hurt, showed that he's more than a two-way guy, and now he's a big part of the rotation. And so when you start thinking about a healthy Grizzlies team, we just talked about G.G. Jackson, LaRavia, then you throw in these other guys. Obviously, Vince Williams is going to be a big part of that now. When you look at it on the surface, I mean, the one guy that looks like he's absolutely the odd man out. Now, again, there could be all kinds of trades. As you said, there's still the big decision with Kennard. Will he be a part of the future at his price, which is pretty steep? But it looks like that Zaire is probably the odd man out as far as a wing player.
Yeah, I think if Zaire is here, I think it's deep on the bench. I think they will probably look to move Zaire. I think that would be best for him and probably best for them, best for everybody. In that, and I would think that there still would be some teams that would be willing to, they're not going to give up much to get him, but I think would take him. I mean, he's still a very young guy, and as highly rated as he was coming out of high school, everything else, I would think that somebody might be willing to take a chance and see if a fresh start would be good, and they could do something with him. I mean, he's still only 22 years old. Like he's like, so I don't know what will be. Again, you won't get anything for him, but again, it's one of those. If you could trade him and just get off of the contract, that would be certainly good. I think again for the team certainly, and probably best for him. But the thing is, you start looking at the rotation for next year. And when you've got Ja and you've got Jaren and you've got Desmond, and we assume Marcus, if Marcus Smart is back, which again I assume he'll be back unless something blew their socks off with an offer or something like that. If they add a center, a starting, or whether they add a starting center or a starting power forward, if that person's not here, then that's obviously got that. Unless it is Brandon Clark, but if it's not Brandon Clark, then it's
a roster spot.
Then you got Brandon Clark,
right?
You've got a backup point guard of some sort, unless Desmond becomes your backup point guard, but I don't think that's good, or Marcus Smart or whatever, like that combo. But if you do want to have a backup point guard who gets minutes, well, that guy's in the rotation. You talk about if Luke Kennard is back, he's going to be part of the rotation. We assume Vince Williams is going to be a part of the rotation, especially because of what he does on the defensive end. So again, I go
How about
to
Santi Aldama? Would he be an odd man out?
I get it. So I go to again. So if Gigi's part, right, how many guys are you going in this rotation? Like, are you going 10, 11 guys in your rotation?
Taylor has the knack to play 10. In a normal game, competitive game, I think he goes usually to 5 off the bench. I don't have the numbers to back that up, but it seems to me that has been the case a lot, that he would go 5 deep. So a 10-man rotation. But yeah, I mean, your point is well taken. Santi Aldama, I mean, what about him? A lot will depend on what they decide that they want to do with that other big. I don't even have to say a 5 or a 4 because, again, whatever they end up doing, that person next to Jackson. But if that happens,
and regardless, even if Brandon Clark, say they start Brandon Clark and Jaron together on the front line,
they still need a backup.
They still have to have another big in the rotation.
Right.
So there has to be another big in that rotation. So
now that could be that could be the rookie if they keep their pick and take a big. More than likely, that will be a big coming off the bench and not a starter. I think they're going to get a veteran big, whether you want to say power forward or 5, that's your prerogative. And then they're going to possibly take one in the draft. But that's up for grabs. I mean, who knows? Like you said, they could get an offer rather, that knocks their socks off, and they move in the draft. They move back. They pick up somebody. I think they're going to be very active. I think they have to be very active. You can't just roll the ball out and then expect that. And then you go into the season, that's with the assumption that everybody, again, stays healthy. I don't think it's, again, like I said earlier, the basketball gods hopefully won't deal them what they did this past season. You wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy. But they're going to go through their bumps and bruises and things of that nature. And Ja, the way he plays with reckless abandon, he's not going to change the way he plays. That's Ja. And there's always that chance, that twisting and turning, that jumping, that falling, getting knocked to the ground, that he misses some games. Hopefully it won't be as many as he's missed the last couple of years. But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered because I do believe that there are teams that have caught them at least. I don't think you just roll out the ball and they're number 2 again in the West. So a lot of things that have to happen for this team. But I think they have the ability because they have the personnel, again, knock on wood, to be able to be there.
Also, I don't want to leave this player out, but Vince Williams Jr.
I said him.
You said him? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure because I didn't hear his name.
He's a guarantee in the rotation.
Yeah, that's why I said because of what he does on the defensive end.
Yeah.
I think he's going to certainly be a part of he's ahead of Gigi.
For sure.
Because of what he does on the defensive. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're saying Gigi's a part of the rotation, well, like you're getting down to 10, 11 guys now. Like, at some point, the rotation has to stop.
Yeah, and then he could be he could be another secondary playmaker for you. Like,
I mean,
so
that was one of the positives from this year.
The question is going to be, who is that? Again, who's the? You could even say who's the 4th and 5th starters. I mean, are they going to start the Ja? If everybody's healthy, do Ja, Desmond, and Marcus Smart start together?
See, I'm not sold. We've talked about this before.
Would they rather go with maybe Vince Williams on that wing for the extra defense, bring Marcus off the bench?
But Marcus plays defense too.
Yeah, but I mean, Vince can guard
bigger guys,
different guys.
Yeah.
So do you want to do that? I mean, there's decisions to be made as far as that is concerned. I would think that and again, hopefully in the preseason or everything else, but I would think they would at least give the Ja, Desmond, Marcus Smart thing a chance since we didn't get to see it this year. Like, it was so limited that those 3 guys were all together. But again, I mean, you could end up switching it that way where Marcus comes off. I mean, you got Derrick Rose. Is Derrick Rose back and a part of this team?
I think he's done. I think they buy him out.
Or do they make that move? Again, I think Scottie Pippen showed some stuff, but are you willing to just go again because of the fact, especially if Smart's back, if you have Smart and Desmond, how many minutes are truly there for a backup point guard? So you really don't want to spend any money on it. And if you could so Pippen certainly could work as far as that is concerned because you're not asking much out of a backup point guard truly on this team because those guys can move over to the point guard position. So again, Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard, obviously the Zaires and Laravias and Santis of the world, like there's a lot of decisions to be made on that fringe of this roster. But again, I don't know. And because again, which way, if you don't get a big with the draft pick, like if you decide that the bigs that are available when you pick, you don't like, and you go a different direction with the draft pick, well, now you've thrown another guy into that mix at the wing, guard position. So that could be, another guy. And then you still have to go get the big. And so again, you're getting deeper and deeper in that rotation.
I think it's going to be one of the most interesting off seasons they've had in a while. I don't think there's any question. Folks, you want to get charged up? Come out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Test drive one of the new EV Blazers. It's still Chevy truck season. If you're ready for a new Silverado, all the Silverados with financing down to 2.9 for 72 months, thousands in cash and trade. The new Equinox and Trailblazers with 1.9% financing, no payments for 90 days because your good credit deserves it. And if you want pre-owned, everything you want is right there at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverse with that third row seating. If it's not there, you can ask Kevin or Jeff or any of the great folks at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. They will find it for you. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers get an extra $500 bonus. Where are you going for graduation, for Mother's Day, spring and the summer? How about those summer road trips? What are you driving around? How about a beautiful Chevrolet from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch? Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch. Come on out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch today or go to allstarautogroup.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Fill your spring with brilliant style at Sissy's Log Cabin. From the latest designer trends to one-of-a-kind pieces to exquisite diamonds, you'll find the joy you need for a stylish spring while enjoying the Sissy's promise of unmatched quality, service, and selection. Experience Sissy's for yourself when you stop by any of our 6 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Create the style of your dreams only at Sissy's Log Cabin because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701 or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Is your home screaming for an upgrade? Listen closely because Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is about to make your day. First up, say goodbye to cold showers and hello to endless hot water with our tankless water heater upgrade. Not only does it save space and energy, but it also keeps the hot water flowing exactly when you need it. And here's the kicker. Switch from your old tank to a sleek, efficient tankless water heater now and Choate's will hand you a $500 credit. Yep, you heard that right. $500 back in your pocket. But wait, there's more. Clogged drains are a hassle no homeowner wants to deal with. With Choate's special offer, get your drains cleared for just $93 or it's absolutely free. That's our guarantee to make it drain or you don't pay a dime. So why wait? Call Choate's today at 347-8086 or visit us online at choateshvac.com. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
It's the Dodge Power Shot Day's last call, and that means it's time to get your best deal at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Feel exhilarated in 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4, $25,889 or $389 a month. And get yours before they're gone. 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $29,969 or $459 a month. And during Ram Truck Month, get 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
75 months at 8.99%. Renegade Triple P 56520, MSRP 31095. Charger PH 651421, MSRP 36420. Ram RG 193472, MSRP 65925. AP offer at 72 months, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Wrapping up the paperwork on this earlier collision out here at Winchester at Lamar. Still working over here southbound on Germantown Parkway at Wolf River Boulevard. They've been over there since Friday night. Traffic's on the increase out here in a couple of spots like 55 North coming up from DeSoto County up through South Haven. Weimer's Jewelry located 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Well, ready or not, here we come. It's the NBA postseason beginning this week, the play-in games, and then we'll get to first-round action. So we know this, that in the West, Sacramento is the 9, Golden State is the 10. They will play in an elimination game. The LA Lakers are the 8, the New Orleans Pelicans are the 7. The loser's still alive in that one. In the East, the Atlanta Hawks are the 10. They'll play at the 9 Chicago Bulls, the 9 seed, the Bulls. Again, loser eliminated. And then it's the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Heat are the 8 seed, and the Sixers are the 7 seed. So the Sixers will host in the play-in.
Yeah, I mean, the matchups, I mean, and some of the star power that they have in the play-in, I don't think Adam Silver, even when they came up with the play-in idea, I don't think they could have dreamed of this. I mean, you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Zion Williamson, you got Steph Curry and the Warriors, you've got Joel Embiid, you've got the Miami Heat who were in the finals last year. Like, I mean, goodness gracious, this is some amazing matchups and things they get. Now, the Lakers, you may have to worry about, this is it's an extended stay in New Orleans. You always got to worry about teams with an extended stay in New Orleans.
At least Mardi Gras is over.
After playing there yesterday, and now they'll play there again tomorrow night. But, yeah, I mean, this is, and then if the Lakers win, then you get a rematch of the Western Conference Finals from last year in the first round of the playoffs this year. I mean, there's some potential for some really good matchups.
And pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. No, pay no attention to the scores from yesterday, not necessarily reflecting the status of certain teams, right? The effort or lack thereof. So yesterday was crazy with some of the scores. Indiana yesterday scored 157 points.
Yeah, the last day of the NBA season is just it's a treat. From some of the players who put up some massive numbers to some of the scores that you see. I mean, there is it's quite the mixed bag of the final day of the NBA season.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard looked like a Hall of Famer for the Celtics and their win. But anyway, the 2 games that are tomorrow are the Lakers, New Orleans, and Golden State, Sacramento. I'm real interested in that one. Golden State and Sacramento. Does Golden State have one more run in them? And then on Wednesday, it's Miami and Philadelphia, Atlanta and Chicago. Again, Philly with Joel Embiid back, you would think, okay, I mean, they're better than Miami, but it's playoff Miami. Playoff Miami is a lot different than regular season Miami. So we'll see how that one goes. Then, of course, Friday, you'll have the 8th seed game. And then here we go this weekend. The playoffs begin in earnest. Oklahoma City ends up the number 1 seed in the West, although ending the regular season in a tie record-wise with Denver. Denver's the 2, and Minnesota is the 3 seed in the West. What a race it was between those 3 teams. So Oklahoma City will play whoever is the 8th seed. Denver will play whoever is the 7th seed. Minnesota, as the 3 seed, will take on Phoenix, the 6th seed. and then the LA Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. The Clippers the 4, the Mavericks the 5.
It is still unbelievable to me that Denver lost Friday night to the Spurs.
Had a big lead, too.
With the number 1 seed, the ability to win the number 1 seed, that is crazy that they lost that game.
No, it was. It was Victor Wembanyama doing his thing, and they rallied from, was it 20-something down?
I don't know what
they were down big, Spurs.
Biggest lead got to, but yeah, that one, like I saw that, when I saw the final score, I was like, wait, what? What? You have the number 1 seed on the line and you're losing to the Spurs, for goodness sake? I mean, yes, they got Wembanyama, but the rest of their guys are sitting out. Like, the Spurs aren't even playing their guys.
In the East, Boston, the 1 seed, they clinched, I think, on Valentine's Day, maybe even earlier. They will take on the 8 seed, whoever that is. The Knicks end up getting the 2nd seed. Good for the Knicks, especially dealing with the injuries. Julius Randle out for the year. They have battled. They will take on, again, whoever is the 7th seed. Milwaukee's the 3. They'll go up against Indiana, the 6. And then Cleveland and Orlando. Cleveland, the 4. Orlando, the 5. There's some matchups in the first round in the East, and I'm like, But in the West, every one I'm excited about. So right now, when I look at the scope of things and how it could play out, in the East, if Boston doesn't win the East, then something's wrong. In the West, unless all of a sudden Milwaukee figures it out, but I don't think they will. Philadelphia is the one I'm thinking that maybe can make that run with Embiid. In the West, there's certainly a couple of teams that could knock Denver off from their perch, but I still think Denver is going to win. I think it'll probably be a Boston-Denver NBA final with Denver winning it.
I think you could very well end up with that. Yeah, Boston in the East, certainly it looks difficult to find a team that would beat them in a 7-game series in the East. But in the West, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could win the West. It'll be for a team like Oklahoma City, who just hasn't, they don't have that playoff experience, but obviously very good at earning that number 1 seed. What do they look like in the playoffs? Minnesota certainly, but with the veteran teams like the Clippers and the Mavericks, and obviously Phoenix with what they've got. I mean, there's just so many star players and different things. Like the West, you could see it go a lot of different directions.
If Phoenix loses first round to Minnesota, and I know they have the new owner, do you see them running it back or imploding and doing some different things and maybe trading away one of their stars?
I think, likelihood they run it back, just because I think it would be hard to do much else other than that, like cap-wise, everything else. Because they're not going to want to, they're not, Booker and Durant, they're not trading. And Beal, because of the injury situation, would be hard to trade.
How old is KD now? Zach, do you know? 34?
He's mid-30s. Got to be around there, because what year did he came out at? What?
35.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, again, if that guy wants to spend money, but if it doesn't work where they don't get out of the first round with Durant, Booker, and Beal, and I know they had injuries early in the season, which probably put him in this position as the 6th seed. Who knows if those guys were healthy at the beginning? And then, of course, the other one is the Clippers with their star-studded team with Kawhi and Paul George and Harden and Westbrook. They got a lot. They got a tough second unit. But Dallas, once they made the move at the All-Star break and they got Gafford and they got P.J. Washington, they've been much better. And Irving and Doncic together, I didn't think that would work, those two guys together, but it has worked. So that one's going to be maybe the most intriguing in my mind of all the series to open up the NBA playoffs. Clippers, Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, just on, again, simple star power of a series. I mean, you're talking perennial all-stars you basically got 5 perennial all-stars in that series. And it's a 4-5 matchup. Like, that's
right.
Crazy that's a 4-5 matchup and you got that type of star power in it.
Yeah, Cleveland, Orlando is a 4-5 in the East. Yeah, you got Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, you have, what's his name with Orlando? Paolo Banchero. But really, does that do anything for you? Does that float your boat? It doesn't, with me at least, personally. But the Clippers and the Cowboys. Clippers and the Mavericks does. I guess different strokes for different folks, but the Cleveland-Orlando series, some good young players in that one, really doesn't do it. Indiana-Milwaukee. Again, Indiana with Halliburton and Turner and those guys. Milwaukee has Giannis, has Lillard. But
if you like points, that's your series.
That's your series.
There are going to be some points scored in that series.
Play the over right now.
Man, those games are going to be a little crazy.
Defense is optional.
Yeah, for playoff that won't look like, I would assume it. That won't really look like normal playoff basketball. Usually playoff basketball, things slow down, everything else. That series, I don't think we're going to see that. That's going to be a series of ton of points being scored.
All right, who are the two teams from the West and the two teams from the East that come out of the play-in and go to the playoffs?
I think the Lakers are going. For some reason, I think the Lakers will win again in New Orleans. I think the Lakers will get the 7th seed, but then I think New Orleans wins the other one. So I think those two will get in.
Okay, and then how about in the East?
East, I would be. To me, if it's not Miami and Philadelphia, I'll be really surprised.
Yeah. Right.
Like those are like Chicago's just not good, and Atlanta's really,
not good.
Like
Trae Young just got back.
That's
right?
like of the 4 play-in matchups, like that Atlanta-Chicago game feels like just a complete afterthought. Like you got these other great matchups. It's like, and then also the Hawks and Bulls play.
Exactly.
It's like,
that's the way I'm looking at it too.
So I got my tinfoil hat on in the West. Do you think the Lakers are going to tank the first game so that they could avoid playing Denver and have the better matchup against the Thunder?
I don't think they can afford to.
Yeah, I just don't know that, because then you're putting on one game,
right? Davis twists his ankle in the second quarter. Now you're not in the playoffs.
I can't. Certainly, it's not a bad thought. Like from that, like if you went. I think they would much rather play Oklahoma City than Denver.
Right.
But I just don't know that you can take that chance and put it down to one game, and then if you lose that, you're out altogether. You don't even get the chance. So you're like, well, that didn't really work out so well. I don't know.
And then you're facing the winner of Kings and the Warriors, and two teams that can shoot it from 3.
No, what you're saying makes sense, but I don't think they can afford it either.
But yeah,
you're putting all your eggs
will
in
they
one
be
basket.
Massively disappointed if they lose the New Orleans game? No. They'll be like, that's not the worst thing in the world, but we still have to win another game, whereas I think you just rather take care of it, get into the postseason, and make sure you're there.
Oh, that's all you need is the Lakers to go out there and lose by 30, and then Adam Silver goes, wait a minute, what's going on here? I don't want any of my teams tanking for position or to play who they're going to play in the playoffs. That's ridiculous. We don't need that.
If suddenly they start calling all the travels on LeBron, well, then everybody will have the conspiracy theories.
Right.
Yes.
The league is trying to take care of that for them, so that the Lakers Lakers don't have to say they tanked. It was just the league actually started calling traveling on LeBron. Those two the funny thing. Now I will say this: the second one that they say they missed in the last 2-minute report. Okay, like that one I can understand. The first one is crazy when he changed pivot feet and no referee noticing that. Well, there'd be 2, I guess, that would have a chance. But that's just a blatant travel that should be called every single time.
Are you shocked? It's LeBron. When we come back, let's talk about the added time in the game on Friday. The Grizzlies overall, though, with those calls that did not go against LeBron, may have gotten hosed. It doesn't really matter. The effort was there. But the extra time on the clock, wild stuff.
We'll get to some text messages as well. If you want to chime in on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, you can at 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255 for the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line. This hour of our program brought to you by the Big Green Egg. And boy, oh boy, do we have some grilling weather. We had some great weekend weather. We got some more great weather coming up here. Great time of year to get out and get on that grill. Whatever it is you're looking to grill, maybe you're looking to smoke some ribs and go low and slow, or Maybe you're trying to sear a steak at 650, 700 degrees. Well, the Big Green Egg, it's capable of whatever it is that you need to do. Heck, if you're looking to bake something, you can do that on the Big Green Egg. With all the egg accessories, the Big Green Egg, it's the most versatile grill there is. It's the best grill there is, and it's the last grill you'll ever need to buy. Go to BigGreenEgg.com to get all the details. You can also find the Big Green Egg at the Ace Hardware store locations around town, Hamilton Fireplace, and more. The Big Green Egg.
You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 at 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together. Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value.
MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with
MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes, or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails, like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. We can't wait to serve you.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460 Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350 Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33,765 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Our buddy Jarvis Greer texted me a moment ago. He said the game on Friday versus the Lakers was one of the best games ever given the circumstances. Lakers had to have it, and the hustle, or Grizzlies played their butts off. Playoff atmosphere really makes you miss the grindhouse in late April and May. That's the worst part, knowing that the season is done. So for the next 2 months while the playoffs are going on, the Grizzlies aren't a part of it, and we got that lull in the action. But going back to Friday night, we talked a little bit about the controversial non-calls against LeBron down the stretch. That Grizzlies team could have beaten the Lakers. It didn't happen. They ended up losing that game. But there was an extra 1 minute and 6 seconds that was played in that game. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how everybody misses, from the timekeeper to the officials to the teams themselves. Everybody involved has to be at fault for that one, as I've never heard of something like that. Playing a minute extra time that you didn't know about.
Yeah, I certainly don't understand how it happens, because somebody should easily recognize that. From stat keepers who are their thing, like you can look and see what, there's a million different people seemingly that should be like, wait a second, that can't be right. That can't be the time remaining. That's incorrect. So I have no clue how that happens. That one is bizarre as heck. It'd be one thing if it was 10 seconds, but for over a minute to be added to the clock and nobody recognize it, I don't know. That one, that's a head scratcher right there.
Some people began their off season a little early, apparently.
Wait, listen, yeah. Again, much like Jordan Goodwin going for rebounds, there's a lot of people who just aren't. Let's just be honest. In games like that, they maybe just putting their best effort forward. They're kind of like, you know what? just trying to get this thing over with at this point. We're just trying to get there. But to his point, like that game, like, and I wasn't there, but just watching it, like it was, like you could, the atmosphere, everything else, you kind of, for a moment there, like if you're just kind of let your mind, like you're kind of like, wow, this game means something. Like you felt like even for the Grizzlies, like this is a big game. Like you kind of got into it, and it was. I mean, with LeBron doing his thing and Davis doing his thing, like they're going off. But the Grizzlies are answering and hanging around and making big shots, and you almost kind of felt like suddenly it was a playoff game or something.
Right, and those Grizzlies players, we talked about this last week. Some of them just playing for their future, whether it be with the Grizzlies or somewhere else.
I mean, when Pippen. And Pippen is motivated against the Lakers, obviously, but he started making huge shots. Gigi's doing his thing, and it was just like, and then it was just certainly disappointing. And again, I'm not like I recognize the LeBron thing. Not that I was paying that close of attention, like where I would see like that stuff again. Official,
Me either.
The one where he just completely changes pivot feet, like that's something the referee has to notice. The other one, I think NBA guys do that all the time and don't get necessarily called for it. But the foul, the lack of the foul call on Hachimura, and then Taylor loses his mind. Which again, when he loses his mind, I kind of like man, we're gonna lose this playoff series. Oh no, this is just a game at the end of the season. We have nothing to play for.
But that's why I love Taylor Jenkins. The guy loses his mind in a game that is meaningless to the Grizzlies at the very end of a long season that was injury plagued. Just the fact that he's into it for that game and that moment, I love that. We're gonna get to your texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines when we return. We'll open up hour number 2, talk a little bit more about the Grizzlies, the NBA playoffs. Then we're going to get into Tigers recruiting. They land another player over the weekend, and then we'll talk about Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters. Town Village Audubon Park is senior living in today's world, located at 950 Cherry Road. They're just off Park Avenue in the heart of East Memphis. They offer more options to fit your needs more than ever before. They are dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. All they ask is that you're 55 years of age or older. So you're thinking about a loved one, a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, whatever the case may be, you're looking at your future. Think Town Village Audubon Park. Give them a call, set up a tour at 901-537-0002, or go online to townvillageaudubonpark.com. Everything you need to continue to enjoy life to its fullest. Independent living, short-term respite stay available, monthly options, and their services and amenities are top-notch. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, all-inclusive resort-style dining with multiple venues, outpatient therapy. They have a community social area featuring fitness center, home theater, game rooms, indoor pool, whirlpool, 24-hour pantry, plus a dog park, gated parking, 5 landscape courtyards. Just a beautiful, beautiful area of East Memphis. Town Village Audubon Park. Give them a call today at 901-537-0002 or go online to townvillageaudubonpark.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. All season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared $50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Tennessee only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards or non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseburgers.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
Hey, Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett, $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett, $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460, Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350, Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33,765, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. There's still a couple of accidents in the clearing stages out here. It remains a little crowded over here on 240 East up by Poplar. No surprise, really, to see that start to slow down this time of the morning as it continues to build up from DeSoto County on 55 North, trying to sneak up through South Haven. Traffic's on the increase over here in the Midtown area, 240 North, especially at Lamar. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Boy, hour one flew right by. Talked a lot of Grizzlies and NBA playoffs. We'll continue that here in hour two, but we got Tigers recruiting news, basketball news. We got football news. We'll talk Masters and Scotty Scheffler's second green jacket triumph at Augusta National. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Monday, April 15th, 2024. Thank you very much if you're tuning in or just tuning in or have been listening since hour number one. Tax day today. It's Patriots Day up in Boston. They'll run the Boston Marathon, daytime baseball for the Red Sox, and it's Jackie Robinson Day as well. So 42. The number 42 will be worn all around Major League Baseball. We are in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Factory direct pricing continues on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture, so much more. Their spring sale extravaganza, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 66. It's going to heat up to 83 degrees today with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Brisk breeze at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then tonight, cloudy skies with a low of 68. So very comfortable temperature-wise, about a 15% chance of rain. Second hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They are your family's jeweler. They're also your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. So make sure that James Gaddis Jewelers is one of the jewelers that you look at when buying that engagement ring, that special ring, wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets. Again, James Gaddis Jewelers. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know? We were talking about G.G. Jackson in Hour 1. This comes from, I believe, Sean Coleman, with help from, I think Parker Fleming helped out on this one as well. This is a great stat. G.G. Jackson and Kevin Durant are the second and third youngest players to score 40-plus points in a game. They are also the two youngest to have 40-plus points and 10-plus rebounds in a game. They both did it in Game 82 of their rookie seasons. How about that for symmetry?
Again, Game 82 in the NBA season can lead to a lot of weird stuff.
It certainly can.
There are a lot of doozies that happen on Game 82.
But if G.G. Jackson turns into three-quarters of the player that Kevin Durant is, oh my gosh, did Memphis win the lottery. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com.
Some text messages here talking some Grizzlies on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255. Mac texts in. Mac says the window is closed because Ja won't be the same. Rudy Gay was never the same after his shoulder surgery. First of all, on Rudy Gay, I don't know what you mean Rudy Gay wasn't the same after his shoulder surgery. Rudy Gay basically every year of his career until the very end when he was old, was the same guy. It isn't a remarkable thing of consistency that Rudy Gay had every single year numbers wise. He averaged within a point for about 12 straight years. His points average was basically the same. His rebound average was basically the same. Everything was basically the same for literally about 12 straight years with Rudy Gay.
It was consistent. Now, I can't speak for the texter, but perhaps the texter means that Rudy Gay never turned into that superstar that people thought he would turn into. And for those who remember the Marc Gasol ceremony and the whole deal and the conversations leading up was that Rudy Gay was really going to be the fourth guy in the core four, and it just never materialized that way. So maybe that's what Nate's talking about, that he never became that superstar. But with Ja Morant, no, the window is certainly not closed until it's closed. We can't just guess that Ja Morant, because he was injured, that is not going to be healthy next year. Now, do I concern myself with his reckless abandon play? Yes, but that's who he is. You're not going to change Ja. That's who we want. We want him dunking on 7-footers. I can't wait till he tries to dunk on Victor Wembanyama. But the higher he goes, the further he falls. If he's coming down on his ankle or he's coming down on his tailbone or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't say he's prone to injury, but that body type and the way he plays, it's concerning.
Again, to say he won't be the same.
No, you can't say that.
There's no reason to say that. It's a shoulder surgery. Many people have had shoulder surgeries and came back and been fine.
Right.
And to use Rudy Gay and a shoulder surgery as the example, saying he was never the same, well, that's just not even correct. That's just factually incorrect. He literally was the same player pre and post shoulder surgery. Again, his numbers were almost identical for year after year after year. Right. So I don't to use him as an example makes no sense as far as that is concerned. Big Man says, truth be told, Marcus Smart may be up for a trade. Again, would it be real surprising if Marcus Smart is not back with the Grizzlies next year? No, I wouldn't. I think that's...
Would not be a surprise.
He certainly, I think, could be on the table. That might be something to do. I think he will be back because I still think they want to give it because we didn't get to see
They
it
want to
this year,
see what they got.
to see
right?
whether the smart Ja, Desmond, Jaron, that can be the new core four, if for lack of a better term. I think they want to see that, but I could also see where they elect to go a different route and use Marcus in a trade. That would not be that surprising. Another texter says Grizzlies draft a center. Look at the other teams in the West who have good centers. But again, Jaron is a good center.
Yes, but Jaren against Jokic, forget about it. Jaren against Sabonis, forget about it. Jaren against Wembanyama, forget about it. I mean, he's a different kind. So, again, whether it's a 5 or a 4, forget about the labels. They need to get a physical, bad mamma jamma next to Jaren Jackson Jr. to try to get physical with those guys I just mentioned and others. Right?
They have to get another big, whether it's the 4 or the 5 or whatever. And it probably doesn't need to be somebody who needs the basketball. Like it would be somebody who you're not really looking to score. You're looking at a rebounder and yes, a defender, a physical defender.
Right.
But newsflash, nobody does well against Jokic. Like he's the MVP of the league multiple times for a reason. Like no center does well against Jokic. He's really good. So that is what it is.
True that, but you can't wave the white flag because, again, if you're
but it's not waving the white flag. But Jokic is going to put up good numbers, whoever the center is.
Right. But you have to figure out a way to make this roster better and more competitive against Denver because Denver is still the marquee team. As I said in hour number 1, I want to see it before I believe it. As good as some of these teams have been this year, as star-studded as some of these teams are, Denver is still the team to beat. So I want to see somebody knock them off because that's the one that you have to gauge yourself against or compare yourself against. And certainly you have to figure that out in the offseason. What player, what players, what scheme, what puts you in best position to be able to take down a Nikola Jokic-led Denver Nuggets team?
Another texter says, I agree. We need another big who's not afraid to rebound as a primary task. Yeah, again, that's the number one thing that you would want out of your other big.
And whether
again, God, you're not asking them to score. You're asking them basically to rebound, and we're not going to run a bunch of plays for you. You're not going to get the basketball, but we need you to get rebounds.
And whether it's through free agency, a trade, or the draft, they're getting one. They're getting at least one big. You can take that to the bank.
Well, they have to.
But I think they might be getting multiple. Again, they still may be getting that veteran player who comes in through a trade or free agency, long on the tooth, and then getting in the draft if it works out that way. And we'll see what happens with the draft lottery. Grizzlies finished with the 7th worst record in the NBA, so 7th best chance to get the number 1 pick, odds-wise, but you never know with the odds, right? You might get lucky like you did. Jarvo hits me up again. He's talking about Trey Jemison. Trey Jemison, to me, is a stiff. I don't know. He doesn't do anything for me. Does he do anything for you?
If you keep him on a 2-way contract, I'm fine.
Well, a 2-way guy. No, I'm talking about your starting center or your rotation big.
No, I don't think Trey Jemison is a rotation player on a good team. No.
If Jemison's getting minutes next year, they're in trouble. That's what I say.
But as far as keeping him around on a 2-way deal as just a physical guy to have around, like for a spot, play here or there, that's fine. But no, I don't. Trey Jemison isn't going to be a part of the rotation. If the Grizzlies are what they are hoping to be, no, he should not be a part of the rotation.
Right.
Somebody says, how well do you think Nick Claxton would fit in with the Grizzlies?
Thin,
He's got the
physical
relationship with Ja Morant.
He's more of a he's an athletic big. He blocks shots. He's a decent rebounder, but he's not a real physical guy. I don't know. I
would take him. I mean, I'm not.
I wouldn't turn him down, but I think there are better options, in my opinion.
A guy, Andre Drummond is the name people always bring up. Like Andre Drummond, that type of player is kind of what the Grizzlies need.
Right.
I mean, just a guy who'll just go out there and can grab you 12, 15 rebounds a game. He'll score off putbacks and stuff like that. But he's just a huge body who will get you a bunch of rebounds.
Yeah, as long as he's not looking to score the ball. I mean, you're right. Rebounds, putbacks, things of that nature. But if he's a guy who thinks, if he's going to become a Zebo where the ball comes into him and it doesn't come out, that would be an issue. But I don't think that's his game. I like him. He's been around the league a long time.
I mean, he's right now probably the best rebounder in the league. Like he just is a dominant force on the boards in the minutes he gets. Claxton averaged nearly double-digit rebounds.
Yeah, he's a good rebounder, shot blocker. He's an athlete.
In less than 30 minutes. So
I don't think he's a physical guy. Look
I would take Nick
was.
Claxton in a heartbeat.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it right now in the Grizzlies.
Again, we have the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines open to you. You can call in or text in at 901-360-8255. All right, sticking with basketball, switching gears. Busy weekend for Memphis. Things are really heating up for Memphis Tigers basketball and for Coach Penny Hardaway. If you missed us over the weekend, Colby Rogers, according to reports, is transferring from Wichita State to Memphis. Remember last year, another Wichita State player transferred to Memphis named Jaquan Walton and didn't have the season people expected. And then the other day, he popped up in the transfer portal, which was curious because nobody believes he has any eligibility left. So I don't know what happened there. And if he does have eligibility remaining, although I don't believe Memphis wanted to retain his services, I think that would be another miss by compliance if that's the case and he has any time, any eligibility remaining. But once again, Penny Hardaway dips into the American Conference to grab a player. It's already happened with Tulsa, last year with Temple, the year prior with SMU. So he's grabbing guys who have had basically good games against his team. He likes what he saw, and then he said, hey, come join us. And that's what's going to happen with this Colby Rogers, 6'4" junior guard, averaged 16.4 points per game. But this is the number right now that, you look at this guy and you go, okay, I understand. 40.9% from three. And high volume shooter. 7 attempts a game from three.
Yeah, I mean, this is, for them at least, he was a fantastic shooter. And that is something that certainly you want to add around PJ Haggerty because he is not a great shooter, but he is a guy who can get to the rim, should be able, so the drive and kick threes you would think would be there with Haggerty. If he could come in and do that. Now, Jaquan Walton was a 40% three-point shooter at Wichita State as well when he came in here, and he was not a 40% three-point shooter here. I don't know what, maybe there's something different in the air in Wichita, but hopefully Rogers can come in and continue to do what he did at Wichita, because if you can get knock down shooters around Haggerty, that's a very nice thing to have.
Couple other guys paid visits over the weekend to Memphis. North Texas's Aaron Scott, I believe he was at the Grizzlies game on Friday when I was there. And Florida International transfer Arturo Dean. I don't think he was there, but I think the report was that he was here as well this weekend. Arturo Green. Also this week, John Buggs III is expected to be in Memphis to give them a look-see. So again, Penny Hardaway looks like he's been more deliberate in a particular player that he wants to fill a particular role. And as you can see with guys from Florida International, North Texas, Wichita State, Tulsa, Illinois obviously was a very, very good team this year, but Dane Danger was not a big part of that. But he's going after players that are not necessarily the big names in the portal. Now, whether he's doing that on purpose because last year he went after the big names, it didn't work out, maybe NIL money influencing that, I don't know. But I do like the fact that he's being more deliberate and he's looking at needs rather than just going out and getting a bevy of talent. Because as we know in this college game, it's not all about that. Connecticut was able to get talent, but they all had roles. They all knew what they were doing. They were all committed. They were all bought in, that kind of stuff. Plus, the history doesn't hurt when you know you're going to Connecticut and you have a chance to win a natty and then go on and play in the NBA. Memphis certainly can offer that NBA thing with Penny Hardaway, and that's another reason why, according to, I think, Parthu Pajai or Jason Munns, who both cover the Tigers, one of them did an interview with Colby Rogers, and he said, look, you're learning from one of the best. That will continue. No matter if these guys saw him play or not, and more than likely they didn't, they know of him through their families or whoever it may be, their inner circle, and they know what type of player he is, what type of coach he is, so they are willing to go there, maybe giving up a chance to get more NIL money somewhere else. Who knows? I don't know what the NIL breakdown is, but people will continue, talent will continue to want to play for Penny Hardaway to get to that next level. And that is fine. That's your ultimate goal. That's what it should be. But the goal in the immediacy is to play as a team, have that camaraderie, that chemistry, and try to win a national championship.
East Coast Wings and Grill. When it comes to any sports action that is on, you can always watch it at East Coast Wings and Grill. They got TVs all over the place for you to watch all of the games. They'd have the baseball package, so any baseball game that you want to see, you can watch that up at East Coast Wings and Grill. Monday nights, they do live team trivia. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight, so you could go up there and do some team trivia on Monday nights at East Coast Wings and Grill while watching all of the action. And, of course, while you're there enjoying the action, you can enjoy some great food and drinks. From the wings with 60 different flavors to choose from, 7 different heat indexes available as well, maybe one of their delicious burgers or their flatbreads or any of the other great sandwiches, salads, whatever it is you're looking for. They got all kinds of great things to choose from on the menu at East Coast Wings and Grill. And then when it comes to drinks, they've got 24 draft beers on tap, including many of the local beers, plus any other drinks or beers that you want. They've got them for you at East Coast Wings and Grill, located off Highway 64, Kate Hyde Boulevard, which runs right between Lowe's and Walmart there in Bartlett. That's where you'll find them, East Coast Wings and Grill.
From spring ball to the UFL, we got some football to talk about when we return. And Scotty Scheffler did it again at Augusta National, another green jacket. We'll talk about his triumph when we return. Again, you want to chime in? Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines available to you at 901-360-8255. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's time to get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, where we're celebrating the 75th anniversary sales event, and it's time you got your new V-Dub on. Get ready to take your pick of 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice, $279.99 a month. Pick the right Volkswagen for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Sports. Or get 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for $33,988. So get it done and be ready to ride at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 236449, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still a couple of accidents in their clearing stages. It's pretty slow over here now on 240 East as you come past Bill Morris Parkway, trying to get up to Poplar. Don't forget now, they're still working in the southbound lanes of Germantown Parkway over there at Wolf River Boulevard. Traffic's on the increase just a little bit up through South Haven on 55 northbound. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
A number of schools had their annual spring football game this past weekend. Memphis will host theirs this Saturday at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, but a great crowd at the Grove, or in the Grove, and then on to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium for the annual Grove Bowl. But the guy who stole the show was not a football player. It was not even a coach, not Lane Kiffin. It was, you guessed it, Joey Chestnut. Yes, the hot dog king. He holds records on a lot of different foods, but more famous for the hot dogs that he eats during the 4th of July deal at Coney Park in New York, or Coney Island, excuse me. His record is 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. 76. Well, in this particular appearance, they had a contest going on, Eli, and Joey kind of walked up there with 1:30 to go in the contest and down 20 dogs.
He is the goat. There is no doubt about it. When it comes to eating, he is the goat.
He eats like a goat. 20 hot dogs in $1.30 in 1:30. I don't know if I could finish one because I chew a lot I chew my food. I don't inhale my food. 20 in 1.5 minutes. So anyway,
I didn't see what was the most one of the players ate. I didn't see who won their hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, I hope they didn't have to go to the field after that. I didn't see it. I just read about Joey Chestnut with 20 coming into play with 1.5 minutes to go in the contest. But he's just gearing up for the 4th of July. That's what Joey Chestnut does. Like I said, Ole Miss had their spring game, high-scoring spring game, if you will. And, all things are fine in the spring, right? Now, tomorrow, the spring portal opens up. So we will see a mass exodus of players who feel they're not going to get their playing time. They're not going to start. They got beaten out. They don't want to stay around for competition once camp opens up in August. So there will be a number of players. Again, most of them I think would be the projected backups and things of that nature that you'll hear about tomorrow. And like I said, Memphis will play on Saturday in their spring game, 3 o'clock at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
They don't say who actually won the player of the players who ate the most hot dogs.
I would guess a big offensive lineman or a big defensive lineman, but you never know. Joey Chestnut is not, he's not a small guy, but I mean, as far as height, but he's.
Apparently, I guess Chestnut, they put Chestnut on the Navy team because the Navy team was getting beat badly, so they needed a win in one of the contests. And so Chestnut got the win for them in that contest.
Not a surprise.
But yeah, I mean, they did they had a slam dunk competition, tug of war, hot dog eating contest. I don't remember what else was all involved. And then they played some 7-on-7 football.
Well, Kiffin, he knows what's happening. That to get people to come there on a Saturday afternoon in the spring to watch 7-on-7, really non-competitive, no real hitting football, he has to induce them in other ways and things that might excite people. I don't know how many are excited about a hot dog eating contest, but the more things that you have that coincide with the game, maybe the more chance or the better chance that you're going to get some people that want to come and watch. In the meantime, while spring games were going on, the UFL moved into week number 3, and unfortunately it was a lot of the same from week number 2 for the Showboats. They didn't blow a lead. They just didn't have a lead. They got beat by the Stallions of Birmingham as Birmingham continues to ride roughshod over everybody. 33-14. Adrian Martinez. Now, what was the deal with Matt Corral? Was he hurt?
No. They just
went with Adrian Martinez.
They went, this was the first time Martinez was listed as the starting quarterback, and he instead of using the 2-quarterback system, he just rode him the entire game, and rightfully so, because he was terrific. So you might as well keep going with him.
Did a lot of what he did when he played college. When we watched him play at Nebraska, where did he end up at? Kansas State in the end, beating you with his legs. Still could beat you with his arm. We saw a mixture of the throws and the runs by Martinez, and the Showboats, who are known for defense, or supposedly had the meltdown last week in the loss to San Antonio. And this time around, they just couldn't slow down that Stallions offense.
Yeah, Martinez, he made some incredible throws. Just like perfect throws, on a few different plays. All week they talked about, have to contain whichever both quarterbacks. It ends up obviously being Martinez tired, but you got to contain them. You can't let them get out of the pocket. It was really surprising because normally, from what I'd seen from Martinez earlier in the time he had gotten when they were doing the 2-quarterback system, usually when he gets out of the pocket, he wants to run, but he did a great job of getting out of the pocket and then making throws on Saturday. Again, they were just he just kind of did whatever he wanted, and then but their defense, the Showboats offensive line, and Jerron Jones was all USFL the last 2 years, and he was injured in the San Antonio game. He didn't practice fully during the week, so I don't know if the knee injury was a problem for him. But he was getting killed. The center was an all-league center 2 years ago when he was in the USFL, and they could not block Birmingham. And it was just Birmingham's guy, it was literally just taking guys 5 yards backwards, throwing them onto the ground, and then killing Case Cookus. Case Cookus, the fact that now they took him out of the game, John DiFilippo, just for his own protection and well-being because of the hits he was taking. He could have continued to play, but I don't know how, honestly, he didn't get seriously hurt. He got killed in that game.
They can't run the ball because the offensive line is struggling, and that means that puts pressure on Cookus to pass the ball, and if you can't protect him, you're done. Birmingham is really, really good, but that's very disappointing to see the Showboats do that after last week. And next week, they got to go to St. Louis. Now, the Battlehawks aren't as good as the Stallions, but you're going to play in front of probably 40,000 people before you come home to play Michigan. So the season is already slipping through their hands quickly. There's still time, but it's only a 10-game season. The top 2 make the playoffs in each division or conference, whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Birmingham is clearly the best team. Like I don't think it's
not even a question.
Really close. Michigan has looked good, but I mean, in the end, it's Michigan you're competing. Like that home game against Michigan in 2 weeks, that's a huge game because the whole key is you got to be second. If you assume Birmingham's going to win the USFL conference, you just have to be second to get that one shot at them in the postseason, and you hope something can happen there. But Michigan is the team you're competing against for that spot, basically, it looks like. So that obviously you want to win because they're a game ahead of you now. So if you can win at St. Louis, stay at least within a game of them, then you get them. You're going to play them twice, but you get them in 2 weeks here on your home field. Like that becomes a huge game because Michigan has looked really good. Their defense has been really good. But like Birmingham's defense, like, dude, I think like going into the game, Taco Charlton was the guy you kind of was worried about because he's been really good. Like, just as a pass rush specialist for them. Like, and he was a first-round pick in the NFL. He should be pretty good. They get 9 sacks, and he wasn't even anything. He did nothing.
9 sacks? Oh, my God.
But, like, the guy who came in with 0 sacks on the season had 3 of them. He had 2 of the first 3 plays of the game. But they're guys up front. And then their linebacking crew is insane. Like, they got a dude who was an all-league linebacker last year with Michigan, who is, or with Pittsburgh, who is a backup linebacker. Like, it's just, like, all of their defensive guys basically were in the NFL, it seems like, all played in the NFL at one point in time. Like, Skip Holtz has that thing. Like, I don't know. Like, and now that they replaced, you had to replace the league MVP from the USFL, but you had 2 quarterbacks who both look good, but now Martinez, like, they do look amazing. Like, if they get that play at quarterback, they literally might go undefeated. They may not lose a game.
No, they may not, and I don't think that's good for the league to have one team that is dominant as they are. Birmingham, and I don't know what they were able to draw the last couple of years in the USFL as champions, but I think they announced only 9,000 in Birmingham for this game. That is not good for the league when your best team is only drawing that. I mean, right now it seems like it's all dependent upon St. Louis, and that just won't cut it. They need to pick it up, and I don't know how they do. Did you hear about any other of the sites over the weekend as far as attendance?
I did not. I watched the game at Arlington. That was always hard because that's that old baseball stadium, and I don't even know for sure what parts of the stadium are open and everything else. Right. So I couldn't tell really how many people were there. It certainly wasn't a great crowd. And then yesterday I did not see. I wasn't able to watch either of the games. I'll go back and watch the St. Louis game in preparation for this week, but I did not see either of the games yesterday to see what the crowds were like.
All right. When we come back, we'll talk Masters, Scotty Scheffler, also some bits of news from the television world. We got some other football news to get into, some baseball news as well, and we'll continue to read your texts. So we'll take some calls as well if you'd like to call in on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines. Same number to call in or text in at 901-360-8255. The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 32 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. So they have added 5 more since the last time I spoke with you, like the Crazy Lemon Twist. That's new. A savory, zesty, citrusy taste of fresh lemon twist, the jalapeno cheddar, an acidic and spicy flavor completed with a burst of sharp cheddar or crazy sweet heat. Tangy sweetness followed by the heat. That's just 3 of the amazing 32 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot, the Crazy Suicide? And if you can't take the heat, get the 4 cheese roasted garlic or the barbecue bacon bourbon. Again, that's just a few of the seasonings on these Crazy Coop wings that you can get. Ask about the Crazy Coop special. Choose from 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink for just $9.99. Now that is a crazy good price. The Crazy Coop, $71.99, Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Family owned and operated. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Ask about their catering services. Make sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Again, family owned and operated. It's the Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
You've been having a good time at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Olive Branch. Soon you'll be having a good time at a brand new Mugshots. Mugshots Grill and Bar is opening their first Tennessee location at 656 West Poplar in Collierville, where you can try one of Mugshots' 19 specialty burgers, including the Mugshot Burger. Finish it in 12 minutes and it's free, plus you get a free t-shirt. So cheers to great food, good drinks, and fun company at Mugshots Grill and Bar, where you're always having a good time.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
I have so many people tell me they hear my ads on this station and that they want to know if I'm really as bad a golfer as everyone says. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and yes, I hate to say I am. I wish I were in my 90s because I could then tell people I shoot my age. But being a bad golfer is not terrible because I devote so much of my time to selling homes to keep my clients happy. Over the many years in the real estate business, I developed a highly successful strategic marketing program, not merely a listing program. Using preparation, presentation, and proper pricing, it works. If you're thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. That's Shell Dunn Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. Shell Dunn, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP, LLC.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:46 the time. Not a lot of drama in the finish of the Masters as Scottie Scheffler wins for the second time in 3 years. The best player in the world wins, so no big surprise. I think a lot of people picked Scottie Scheffler, and rightly so. For a little bit there during the round, and I was doing some Tigers baseball yesterday, I didn't have a chance to watch the bulk of the final round. I did watch the final 3-4 holes, but again, there was no drama. But there was a point, I guess, Eli, right after the turn maybe, or somewhere early on the back nine, where there was a four-way tie for the lead. And then Scheffler just stepped on the accelerator.
Well, the thing was through the first, I guess, 6, probably 7 holes, Scheffler hit it as bad as he's going to hit it. He's just bottom line. He wasn't hitting fairways the way he does, and he wasn't hitting greens at all. And you're like, wow, Scheffler, But the thing was that people I was watching with, I was like, the thing is, he's hitting it as bad as he can hit it, but he's still got the lead. They can't. Y'all need to be 3 up on him right now because he's going to figure it out. He's way too good of a ball striker not to. Then he makes the birdie on 8. He hits the unbelievable second shot on 9 that almost goes in, tap in birdie there, goes to 10, where he made the double bogey the day before, hits it, in pretty close there, makes that putt, and then that was over. You're like, okay, well, this is over. Again, you knew he was going to figure it out. It's just a matter of time before he starts hitting some really good golf shots because that's what he does. And those 2 holes, in the meantime, you had Oberg hit the horrendous shot into the water on 11. Obviously Morikawa makes the double bogey on 9 when he left the bunker shot in the bunker. Then he hits it in the water on 11, which again, you can't bring that water into play. You got to do whatever Scheffler did. You just hit it to the right of that green and live with it. Try and get up and down. If it happened to catch the green, great. But he is. To go in there where everybody expects you to win it and to just go do it, it's just pretty incredible. He's now, he's won 3 of his last 4. He's a 5-foot putt away from a playoff in the other one. That if he gets that playoff, you think he probably would have won it just because that's what he does. But, then those 3 wins are the Arnold Palmer, the Players, and the Masters. He's won the last 2 Players Championships and 2 of the last 3 Masters. He is just at a level right now. I just don't know. You watch him, how do you beat him? How are you supposed to beat him with the way he hits the ball? And now that he's making putts, it's starting to feel a lot like Tiger in the day, where when he tees it up, you're like, I don't know, he's going to have to play poorly, and then somebody else has to play really well for him to lose. Well, he matches only Tiger, having won a Players and a Masters in the same year. And he still has those other 3 majors right in front of him. He has the not unorthodox swing, but the unorthodox footing, if you will, with that shuffle that he has. So a little bit different than what most normal, when you look at textbook swings, you would not look at that Scheffler the way his feet are and say it's textbook, but it works for him. And I would have to think maybe some of those early issues yesterday had to do with having his wife on his mind and her possibly going into labor. And as he had said, he would leave immediately to go home if she was in labor and leave the tournament even with the lead. And I believed him. I certainly did. I think he would have been true to his word, and that would have sucked for everything, for the tournament, for everybody. It would have been weird talking about what could have been and what ended up happening on Monday today, as opposed to what we're talking about, which is Scheffler being able to stay there. And wouldn't have sucked for everybody. It would have been great for the other players. Well, it would have been great for the other players. Although I don't think he would have left yesterday. But I do. I believe him. I absolutely. If not, he is. He's just he's a different guy. He's a Christian man. I just believe in his values and what he says. But there was that one point where there was a 4-way tie, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I got money on Scheffler, Morikawa, and Homa, but I don't have any money on Oberg, and I'm going to lose this thing. That guy, Ludwig Oberg, he's got a great swing.
He finished 4 shots behind at 7 under, finished alone in second place. It could be a flash in the pan, but that guy's young, he's strong, he's big, he's a good-looking dude. I think this guy is going to win a lot of tournaments. I really do. And then there was the tie for third between Morikawa, Homa, and Tommy Fleetwood. Fleetwood pretty consistent when it comes to majors. They all finished 4 under. But there was only, 6 or 7 players that finished in red figures?
Yeah, it was. I don't remember what I think maybe 7. I can't remember for sure what the exact
Yeah, I think
number
Cam
was.
Smith was in red figures. DeChambeau was in red figures. A couple of guys from Liv. Joaquin Neiman had a good tournament. But here's the thing. That Augusta National itself, on a perfect day with no wind, even with how tough the greens are, you could throw up a low score. But when that wind blows the way it was blowing for the most part in that tournament, it's going to keep scores relatively low. And that's what it did.
That's Friday was insane.
Insane.
With that the 18 with the sand blowing out of that bunker and everything else. It was just.
Was it Immelman who said it was like a mini tornado? He called it a mini tornado. I think it was Trevor Immelman who said that. For people that
Tiger's round on Friday was incredible. Like his short game was amazing. And like anybody, if you were shot even par or anywhere around it on Friday in that stuff, it blows my mind how good you have to be to play that golf course in those conditions and be able to shoot those types of scores.
Right.
And I'll give Tiger credit. He finished 72 holes. I didn't think he could, but man, it's time.
Let's save that to the start of the third hour. I wanted to get into it for Tiger Woods. Again, the weekend was not good, but he does set the record for made cuts consecutively at the Masters with 24. So he got it done. He finished 72 holes, but it wasn't pretty over the weekend. But what is pretty is Scottie Scheffler's game. Absolutely incredible. There is a story out about, we were talking earlier about Memphis Tiger basketball recruiting. There is a story that Memphis has reached out to Sam Houston State transfer Devon Barnes. He's a native of Memphis, played for Collierville his senior year of high school. 6'5" guard, averaged 13.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 39% shooting from 3 on 4.6 attempts per game. Again, that's just a story that's out there as far as reaching out to that young man. And again, Penny finding players at schools that you don't think of as, basketball schools, whether it be Sam Houston State, whether it be Florida International. Certainly Tulsa is not known for basketball, but going to these smaller schools, looking at these players, he did get danger from Illinois, a bigger school and a school that had a great run in the NCAA tournament, but it just does seem to be a rhyme and a reason to everything that he is doing so far in this early portion of the offseason with recruiting. Of course, we know Penny could go all the way until August, for goodness sakes, before he completes his roster. Speaking of basketball, speaking of shooting the rock, if you want to become a better shooter of the basketball, Shoot 360 Memphis is for you. From preps to pros, this place is outstanding. Challenge yourself, compete with others, and perfect your shot. Learn the proper ways to shoot the ball using modern analytics. So parents listening, grandparents, coaches, if you're listening to me talk right now, this is the place for your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, your players to go. But it's also great for adults too. This is the same system that stars like Steph Curry use. It's a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy, arc, and depth. Players can track their progress and analyze their performance. Players of all skill levels can benefit from the personalized training programs that they offer. They use the NOAA Analytics, which is something that was developed by NASA and Carnegie Mellon College. You talk about ultimate analytics. Everything the athletes do in their facility is recorded and stored in a members app, and you can watch the progress in real time. So sign up today for Shoot 360 Memphis. They are moving from Collierville to Cordova, a big facility, a lot of space there, and a lot more they can do. So they're taking registrations right now for that move, which will happen on June 1st. Contact them at 901-316-5500 or go online. Stop by Collierville right now and talk to them about the move to Cordova. It's Shoot 360 Memphis. We'll take a timeout, come back. Hour number 3. It will be a busy one. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like I couldn't do pull-ups, I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701 or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
You can't say that.
But it's true.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't. You can get to any Central Barbecue location from anywhere in Memphis in 10 minutes, depending on traffic.
You made that up.
Try me.
Bartlett.
The Summer Avenue Central Barbecue.
Germantown.
Not Memphis, but the Poplar location.
South Memphis.
Downtown.
Olive Branch.
Again, not Memphis, but the South Haven Central Barbecue.
I still don't think you say you can get to there any of them in 10 minutes.
Well, that's why it's depending on traffic.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. They're still trying to sort out a couple of earlier accidents. It remains a little bit crowded over here on 240 East up by Poplar. It didn't take that long to start to slow down. It also affects that traffic sometimes coming off 385 Billmores Parkway there onto 240 because of that slowdown as you try to get past Poplar. Traffic still a little bit crowded also on 40 West here at Sycamore View Road headed towards the 240 flyover. Some of that traffic is getting off there onto Sam Cooper. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. The Pumpkins are coming to northern Mississippi. Is it still the, what's the name of the facility? The amphitheater down in South Haven?
It is the...
It's still Bank Plus?
Bank Plus?
South?
Bank Plus. Yeah, Bank Plus.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
That's Snowden Grove, right?
Yeah.
Stone Grove, yeah.
Bank Plus Amphitheater, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Smashing Pumpkins are coming there in, I want to say September. Welcome back. Hour 3 of the program. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Monday, April 15th, 2024. Did you do your taxes? You getting a check back? You having to pay the government? It's also Jackie Robinson Day. Yes, every player in Major League Baseball today, as all teams are scheduled to play, will be wearing number 42 in honor of the great Jackie Robinson. It's also Patriots Day in Boston with the Boston Marathon taking place. We are in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. And again, if you're looking for flooring and carpeting, Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando, Mississippi, also Little Rock and Cleveland, Mississippi, have what you are looking for with SPC and WPC vinyls, which are scratch-resistant, waterproof, ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, and so much more. Just give Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins a call. They will come to you. You'll get a free estimate. They'll show you samples wherever you are in the area. Call them at 662-469-9350 or just stop by and see them at their showroom in Hernando, open Monday through Saturday. It's Jenkins Floors and More. Congratulations to John Moran, inducted into the Murray State Hall of Fame on Saturday.
Good for him.
That's what you call a no-brainer. An absolute no-brainer. All right, so we were talking about the Masters, Scotty's win, but also Tiger. And Tiger Woods, the first 36 holes, dealing with those winds, like you said, which were the worst on Friday, making the cut, and then going on to play 72 holes. There's something to say about that for a guy who's in constant pain. But when he said that if all things went right, I can win another one. No, Tiger, you can't win another one. You're not immortal.
I mean, I don't know how much pain he is in on a daily basis. I'm sure there's a lot and all that stuff. I just don't like seeing Tiger out there shooting 82 at the Masters. I've maintained all along. I thought he just wanted to get this record, and I don't think we're going to see much of Tiger going forward at all in tournaments. I think he really wanted to get that cuts record. He got that. He just looked like Saturday. He just looks like an 85-year-old man trying to walk around out there. It's uncomfortable to watch. For him to finish last, obviously among the players that made the cut, makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I hated to hear people, and I'm talking about golf people, praise him when he shot 77 yesterday. Hey, Tiger, that's good. You shot 77, much better than Saturday when you shot. Shut up, man. It's Tiger Woods. I don't care if he's got one leg. Tiger Woods out there shooting 82. No, that does not compute. Danger Will Robinson, that does not compute. Shooting 77 does not compute. I know the conditions were tough. But guess who finished ahead of him? Jose Maria Olazabal, Vijay Singh. Vijay Singh is not even as competitive anymore on the Champions Tour. Olazabal doesn't even play it, once in a blue moon. Now, they aren't coming off those devastating injuries that Tiger has come off of, and he's very inactive, and I'm not sure how much those guys go out and hit the ball around in practice. I'm sure Singh does, because he is golf, right? I mean, that guy, his work ethic. But Tiger's work ethic when he was healthy was at the top as well. I hear what you're saying. You're probably right. But I think Tiger will continue for a long time to play at the Masters. And he's going to start missing cuts. And he's going to be a shell of himself. But that has happened to everybody. Nicholas won at 46, but then, he continued to play into his golden years because you get the lifetime invite. And you're not making cuts, and it is what it is. You hate to see that from your heroes. You hate to see that from the greats in any sport. But it happened. How many times do I bring up baseball, watching the guys I grew up with as a kid, and then watching them labor late in their careers to stay in the game for that one more year. Football as well. Remembering the years when Joe Namath was playing for the Rams or Johnny Unitas was with the Chargers, for goodness sakes, and on and on. You'd like to go out on top, and he certainly has the coin to do so, to basically say, that's it, I'm done. And you've already said you don't believe he'll make any appearances in the Champions Tour. I still think that that's on the table, that he'll play in the majors on the Champions Tour and try to, he wasn't able to beat Jack as far as overall majors. And on the Champions Tour, is it Bernhard Langer that owns the record for majors? But he may get that competitive juice flowing again where he wants to win the most majors on the Champions Tour. I don't know. But what is he going to do the rest of his life? Is he just going to sit around and drink Mai Tais?
He's going to watch Charlie play golf.
And that's it? Just be a spectator that watches his son?
He's just not physically capable of doing it. Like, I don't think he's going to play at the Masters very many times because he can't walk the golf course. Like, he isn't physically capable of doing it.
Yeah, but he just proved that he could do it. In bad conditions.
Barely. Like, did you see him Saturday?
I did.
Like, he barely made it around.
He looked the same Thursday with that face. I guess that's his game face.
He can't even bend over to get his ball out of the cup, hardly.
I understand. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying you won't be right, but I could still see him turning 50, playing in the what do they have, 5 majors on the Champions Tour? Or is that 5 that the women have? One has 5 of them. I think it might be the Champions Tour. And I could see him playing in just the majors. And then playing in the majors on the PGA Tour that he's qualified for, which one is the Masters.
If on the Champions Tour they'll give him a cart, maybe he will. I don't know. I don't know why. I still don't think he will. But he's just not physically capable of doing it.
Is he qualified for all the regular tour majors because of the win at the Masters? How's that work?
I don't remember I'm not sure what the exemptions are.
A couple have to be running out, right? The only one that has a lifetime is the Masters, correct? The Open Championship's not a lifetime, right? Although Daly ends up there every year.
I think the British Open is.
It might be.
Is lifetime, if I'm not mistaken.
So maybe U.S. Open PGA. I mean, it's got to run out eventually.
But I don't. I don't know for sure. Again, I would guess he could, like the PGA especially, I'm sure he would get a special exemption every year because he's Tiger Woods. The U.S. Open might be different. Again, I don't know, and I don't remember what qualifications he gets in off of on that. But I don't think he's going to play much the rest of this year. I just don't think he's capable to do it physically. I think it's something you just got to listen to your body. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, the guy, he can still hit a golf ball, and he hits it a long way. Yet his short game on Friday was incredible, which is amazing with the fact that he hasn't played that much to be able to be that good with your short game going out there in those conditions. But yeah, it's like sad watching him limp around the golf course and shoot an 82. The 5th hole owns him out there. It's so bizarre. He cannot play the 5th hole at Augusta. Like, it just doesn't make sense that there's a hole that Tiger Woods is throughout it. Like, it absolutely owns him. I don't know, but it's
crazy how that happens even to the best of them. It happens to all of us that are just Sunday hackers or whatever the case may be, that you go to a particular course and there's a few holes that you go, I just hate these holes. They don't line up for my shot. It doesn't make any sense. And you end up putting up that same bad score every single time. And there are some holes that you love. I mean, you may play them very well one day, may struggle another day, but it's not going to be consistently bad because you like that hole. It fits your shape, the way you shape your shot. The greens, maybe just you see it better, you see the lines better. But it's interesting to see somebody like that who has conquered everything you can conquer in the game and then struggle with that one hole. It's a nemesis. I'm sure it's between the ears, too. Every time he goes up to tee off at that hole, I hate this hole.
Ron texts in on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line. Says, I'm starting to think McElroy won't ever win the Green Jacket.
He's not going to.
He was not even in contention.
He's not going to. I don't see it.
Again, with the young players that are coming up, and the guys like Scheffler and others, certainly it's getting harder and harder. You think now he's been in contention many times, hasn't been able to get it done. The thing that's crazy about Rory this week is that he just didn't take advantage of the par fives at all, other than number 8, which he did birdie 3 of the 4 rounds. The other 3 par fives, he only birdied 15 once. He never birdied 13. He played 13 at 1 over for the week, and he played number 2 at even par. And with his distance and the way he can drive the ball, like the par fives basically should be par 4s for him.
It's his approach shots.
It's crazy to think that he could go out there and shoot those and not be able to birdie the par fives every single day. Like he should be making eagles. Like it's just, I don't know. Like he had the stretch where he was in the top 10 there like every year, but never could get over the top. Now, he had missed the cut 2 of the previous 3 years coming into this, but he was second in the other year when he did make the cut. I don't know. Like, he's still extremely talented, no doubt about it. But yeah, you start wondering if it's ever going to happen for him. And if you're betting right now, you would have to say he's probably not going to win one.
I don't think so. There's too many really good young players that you're waiting for them to break through. Like Xander Schauffele, and he hasn't won a major, right?
No.
Schauffele, yeah, a guy like that who's got all the talent in the world. But I see like a guy like Zalatoris, if his injury, what was it, a back issues? If he can stay healthy, and backs are tricky, I think Zalatoris is going to win some majors. Certainly, I think Hovland's going to win some majors. Morikawa, he was in the battle. He said he got greedy in his post-game interview, that he was trying to, instead of, like you said, Scotty would put it to the right side of the green, not flirt with the water. Colin was flirting with the water because he was going for that knockout shot. But I still think a guy who's already won several majors can win again. Scotty's 27 years of age. He ain't going anywhere. 27 years of age. And there's others. Like this Oberg guy is really good. I could see him winning majors. I don't think this was a fluke thing. I think Tommy Fleetwood will eventually break through. There's a lot of really, really good golfers, even with the split with LIV and PGA. And, of course, you get those LIV guys coming back for these majors. But I still think that it's going to be really, really tough for Rory to win a green jacket. I don't think it'll happen. By the way, Keegan Bradley said something. I wanted to get your opinion on it. Not that we've played Augusta National, but we know the holes pretty well. He said that the approach shot, your second shot at 11, is the hardest shot in golf.
No, number 11 is it's a ridiculous hole when you think about it. It's a 520-yard par 4. Like, that's just silly to me.
With the whole lake on the left side.
Yeah, with water protecting the green. It's ridiculous. Like I can't imagine playing a 520-yard par 4 with water protecting the green. But yeah, you just have to do what those guys do. Like the green, Homa did it. They just aim, and Homa you could hear with they're basically aiming at the 12th green. So we're aiming at the 12th green. You try and hit a draw. You aim right of the green, try and hit a draw. If it does draw and catches a piece of the green, great. If not, you end up down there right. And these guys were so good with their short game, you try and get up and down. And that's Morikawa at that point, he kind of had to go for it because he had made the double bogey on 9. So if you want to win, you pretty much have to. You got to do something there. But yeah, it's just that shot. I can't imagine hitting that golf shot. It's especially because it's also in that area where it's hard to figure out the wind. So you're trying to figure out the wind. You're gonna have even for those guys, it's a long second shot, and you can't be left at all, like short left. So yeah, it's just an absolutely ridiculous golf shot.
All right, shifting gears, we talked a lot in hour one about the Grizzlies season coming to an end. Their exit interviews begin at 10 o'clock today with Zach Kleiman first up to talk about their future, their off season as well. And then, of course, we talked about the matchups in the postseason as the play-in games will begin on Tuesday. But also, the women take center stage tonight. It's the WNBA draft where Caitlin Clark is expected to be the number 1 overall pick by Indiana. She made an appearance on Saturday Night Live. Do you watch SNL?
I do not.
Did you see the clip of her?
I did not.
She was great. She did a really good job.
It's funny to me that, again, obviously she's going to be the number 1 pick and everybody knows that, but it's like whoever Diana Taurasi plays for, like they're doing like a special ticket promotion for the Taurasi versus Caitlin Clark matchup. Like teams are already doing promotions of like when Indiana comes to town and like promoting it as Taurasi versus Caitlin Clark. She hasn't even been drafted yet, but like there are literally promotions of you can buy the tickets for the Caitlin versus Diana game. Yet she's not even officially in the league yet. Wow. It's so strange. But I mean, because like in the NBA, like we've had many drafts where you know who the number 1 overall pick is going to be, but like you don't like teams aren't doing promotions. Like the Grizzlies are doing promotions of like Wembanyama coming to town last year before the draft even.
Right.
It's like at least show the courtesy of hey, like let's let them draft the guy first and then we'll do things. But this it's blatant. Like. You know, and Indiana's got like all of their games on national television.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Like they've got, it's amazing. Like it's just, again, everybody knows she's going to be number 1 pick, but it's just funny to see all of the promotions and everything around the Fever before the pick actually officially happens.
They don't have local packages, right? The WNBA?
I don't think so. I have no idea.
So imagine national TV games. All her games or most of those games will be on TV.
Like all of her, they said every one of the games. I can't remember how many are actually on TV, but every one of their games is available at worst on streaming.
I want to see what the attendance is and how many of them will be sellouts on games when Indiana, again, the assumption, I think it's a good assumption she's drafted by Indiana.
Like, how crazy would it be if Indiana tonight drafted somebody else?
Oh, gosh. The general manager would be fired. The president, or whoever's in the ops department, right, the scouts, they'd all be fired. But whenever they play on the road at whatever team it is, and I'm not sure how Phoenix draws normally or New York draws, and I don't think any of them are sold out for the season. But how many more tickets will be sold for that particular game when she's in town to play their team than what would normally be? I can't wait to see those numbers. How she's going to help out an entire league. Every individual franchise for when she shows up to play. And, of course, big time with Indiana. Whatever Indiana averaged last year attendance-wise, how that's going to skyrocket this year. So the draft will be, again, tonight. Yeah, but she did a great job on Saturday Night Live on Saturday. And then, speaking of TV, I have to bring this up. Did you watch the Billy Joel concert last night on TV?
I did not.
It was on CBS. I'm watching. I guess we're getting close to the end. It started at a weird time because the Masters and the 60 Minutes, and then they played this other stupid show that was right after the 60 Minutes instead of going to the Billy Joel concert. And then he's playing, he's doing Piano Man, they're in the middle of Piano Man, and boom! The chick comes up on Channel 3 to do the news. Like, what just happened? Wait, what just happened here? My buddies are in Jersey. They're like, no, this was later when they texted me, because at first I had to react right away, you know me. And I was like, Channel 3, did they just pull the plug on Billy Joel? And then Sadie got back to me later, and he said, no, it was across the board from CBS. So my buddy who was watching it texted me and said, yeah, they just pulled the cord with this WCAU TV in Philadelphia. I go, no, supposedly it was around the nation. Now, I think it was just the central and the eastern time zones. What the hell is that? They've been promoting that thing for 3 months. Oh
gosh, I'm just glad it's over because I'm tired of seeing the promos for it, which I don't like. The promos they say a once in a lifetime event. Well, it's literally his 100th. It's literally his 100th show there. Like, Yeah, I mean, I guess the 100th will only happen once in a lifetime, but literally it's 100 concerts he's done there, and I'm going to guess they're all pretty much the same. So to tell me it's a once-in-a-lifetime event, no, it's like a once-every-month event. Basically, that's what it is.
Probably actually more.
Unless you have a really short lifetime, like it is, you're going to see another one.
Yeah, the guy had a residency there in Madison Square Garden. But, yeah, I mean, and, of course, it's on television. You're going to have commercial breaks, so they edit it. The thing wasn't live, so a lot of the songs that they did, they couldn't play within the 2-hour time frame. But they cut out. It's in the middle of a song. I don't know if there was going to be more songs after that. I don't know how it works with a television concert that's already edited, but they cut out of the thing, and I was pissed, and I was not the only one. I'll tell you what will not make you mad. In fact, it'll put a smile on your face every time you go there. That is Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. They've been serving up delicious slow-smoked barbecue for nearly 40 years, and they've been catering that same time period. So if you have an event you got coming up, graduation party this spring, got a birthday party, family reunion, whatever the case may be, sporting event you want it catered, Corky's can do that for you. Just get in contact with them. Get in touch with Corky's. They're located at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They have lunch specials every single day. Party packs that start at just $7.49 for that delicious barbecue. Great ribs. Love the barbecue nachos. And I always go with that cheese and sausage plate as an appetizer. They have wings and catfish. In fact, they got an award-winning catfish plate. Hamburgers and tamales, amazing desserts, spaghetti. They even have the spaghetti at Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Reserve their private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch locations for an event you got coming up. It's Corky's, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
All 650 acquisition P 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay, plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:27 is the time. Rolling right along on a Monday edition of Sports 56 Mornings.
We were talking about Tiger, and of course, it's kind of sad to watch him. It was cool to see him go over and shake Vern Lundquist's hand.
Oh, that was great.
After playing 16, Vern, I thought they did a great job all weekend of kind of honoring Vern, and then the final kind of goodbye from him. Everything else, it was well done, and so it will be weird hearing a different voice next year on number 16. Like, he just became so synonymous with that golf hole that it will be a little shocking when next year there's somebody else calling the action on number 16.
Yeah, do you have any idea who's going to fill those shoes?
I don't know. I have no idea who they'll put in that tower. To me, the chip in for Tiger, whatever that was, 05, I believe that was when he chipped in, and that call from Vern is maybe the greatest golf highlight there is. I will never ever get tired of watching that highlight and listening to Vern's call of that highlight. It's as good a golf highlight. There's not, you can't. Because the way the ball hung on the lip, everything else about it, it is truly you can't get a better golf highlight than that. No. And his call was amazing.
Well, it's one of the most memorable calls of any sport of any era. He did a good job. I thought he was really good. I know he's not as sharp as he used to be, and time had run out with football, and it made sense when he was done calling football. But for golf, it's still pretty. I don't care if you're 85, 86 years old. It's such a different call when you're broadcasting golf. It just makes sense to have Uncle Vern out there. And I did love that moment with Tiger. Tiger had a rough weekend.
It was so weird because it was with Vern just hanging out behind the tree there, you didn't even know. It was funny that he was just kind of trying to be real inconspicuous there, behind a tree, and then Tiger kind of
spots him and
goes over and it shakes a hidden man's hand. It was kind of a weird thing, but that was cool. First for Vern even to be out there, kind of to watch it, and then for Tiger to go acknowledge him was cool.
Did you see the meme from the picture of there's a tree and there's an arm sticking out, and it's Vern's arm, and it's Tiger Woods shaking, and so the Stanford tree is now going on social media saying that's my arm. So as we talked about today is the Boston Marathon. It is Patriots Day in New England. It's Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. It's tax day for all you folks out there as well. But I have a personal stake in what's happening in Boston because my lovely daughter-in-law, who I've talked about before on the show, who's a fantastic runner, Dory Sellers-Gaston, is running in the Boston Marathon. And right now she is about to start the marathon. She's at the starting line. We're going to try to connect with her in Boston. It's going to be a little loud. Dory, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I just started the start line.
So you just began the Boston Marathon.
I did. I just started.
What is it like for you?
It's really, really cool. It's like nothing I've ever done before.
So what is your game plan? What are you going to do? Are you going to be able to run the whole thing? Are you going to walk some? What's the game plan?
I'm going to hopefully run the whole thing, but I've gotten lots of tips from different people. It's downhill pretty much the first 16 miles. Everyone's told me that the halfway point of the race is around mile 17 when the Heartbreak Hill starts. So I'm going to take it easy until about 17 and then try to see what I can push through after that.
And how many marathons is this for you now?
It's 12 or 13.
That's amazing. First of all,
Yeah.
Is this like for a marathon runner? Is the Boston Marathon like the bucket list marathon?
Yeah, so yesterday I was able to go and listen to a talk that Marriage was there, and it was really cool. What he said the Boston Marathon is like the Olympics for the average runner. He said it's a great experience, and I kind of agree with that.
So we'll a couple of more moments with Dory, who is actually running, just started the Boston Marathon live here on Sports 56 Mornings. So how many people are they guesstimating will be running today in the marathon?
I think there's like 30,000.
So are you just like, do you have any room to run? Is there people all around you?
I mean, yeah, they're all around me. I mean, it's a huge crowd. Let's see if we can snap a picture and take it and send it to you of all the people in front of me.
And I'm sure thousands of people lined up down the streets and wherever anybody's running to support you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we had to get bused in from the city because the actual marathon just ends in Boston. It starts in Hopkinton. And so, to the start line.
We're losing a little bit, Dory. So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we're just losing you for a second. Yep, we can hear you. So, real quick, what is your goal? Do you have a time you've set for today?
No, because I want to just take this one in. I'm going to stop and take pictures, and the kids, the St. Jude cheer station is at around mile 13 and a half. So I'll probably stop and say hi to them. Greg and the kids will be there. So just going to take it all in.
Well, everybody is proud of you. Go out there, enjoy your day today. I'll talk to you when you get back and make the city proud. Thanks, Dory.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That is Dory Sellers-Gaston, my daughter-in-law, who's running in the Boston Marathon. And for those who don't know her story, she's a local dentist, but she's battled breast cancer and is running marathons. Just an amazing woman. About as tough a person you'll ever meet.
Like the whatever 2 minutes that we just had her on, that would be the limit. Like I'd pass out now. Like I'm done. Like I can't run any further. I don't have anything else in me. But at least I could say it still boggles my mind. People running marathons.
Me too.
I cannot comprehend running 26 miles.
Now, I don't know if I could walk 20. I'm not going to sit here and say I can walk 26 miles, but I can walk a long way because I have the stamina. I get shin splints. I can't run. So when I go on the, what do you call it, at the gym, I'll walk, but I'll walk with the incline. I can't run. Once I run, my hamstrings are tight and I get the hamstring and then I get the shin splints. And so, no, when I had to run for football or soccer or things like that when I was young, I mean, it just killed me every single time. I can never, and I know people say, change your shoes, get big. Yeah, I've done all that stuff. Believe me, it is very hard for me. So runners, I am so impressed with runners. I am so impressed with marathoners, with triathletes, those extreme triathlon or whatever they do. It boggles the mind that a human being can do that.
No, I mean, look, like when I trained and did like a 5K, like I thought I had done something. Like, and for me, it was like I thought I was going to die halfway through a 5K. Like I was ready to fall out. Like, again, I get just the idea of running 26 miles. Like I don't care if you gave me 10 years to train. There's just no way I can run 26 miles.
Was it the Elvis 5K that you're talking about? Was that the one you ran?
No,
in?
I did I did do the Elvis 5K.
Yeah, I did too.
That was before. I actually walked that. I didn't do that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I did the only 5K I've ever participated in was the Elvis one, and I started to run, and I swear I think I got like 2 blocks, and I go, I'm walking. I mean, I ended up walking most of the thing, and it ended up being like, what is it? If it's 5K, it's, what is it, like 2?
It's like 3.1 miles.
Oh, okay, 3.1 miles. It was like the longest 3 miles of my life. I go, my God. And these dudes are running 26.2 miles?
Because like when I did the whole thing and I raised the money for the charity with the 5K and I did it was the Firecracker 5K that I did. I mean, again, like at about the 2 mile mark, like I felt like my lungs were collapsing. Like I thought I was done. I thought they might have to call an ambulance to come get me. And I was like 2 miles into it. And I trained a lot for that. Like I really like dedicated myself to training for that. And it still darn near killed me to run a 5K. Like it just, I don't know. Like God bless that. Like, and for her with what she's been through and everything. Like, I mean, that is, that just, again,
and then
God bless all of those people. That is an amazing, amazing thing that they are able to do. And to be able to, 12, 13 of them. And like she's like, I don't know, it's 12 or 13. Like I'm telling you right now, if I did run marathons, I would know the exact number of how many I ran. Like my body would tell you, like, no, this is exactly how many we've done, how many times you've darn near tried to kill me.
Man, there's people that run double marathons. Like you run 26.2, take a quick break, go 26.2 again. Then the triathlete.
Oh, the triathlon.
Where you swim, you bike.
The triathlon, those people cannot be humans. You can't be human and do a triathlon. You can't. No, the human body should not be capable of doing a triathlon.
I once did the triathlon, and it was pretty good because I did it in an hour. I had the cheesesteak, the cheeseburger, and a slice of pizza, and it was a great accomplishment.
There's not one leg of the triathlon that I could do.
I can't swim, number one. The only one I would have a chance
the swimming would be
biking.
I think the swimming would be my best chance, but I don't think I could do it. Like I'm just not in good enough shape to do that. So the idea of doing all of them in a row.
Right.
It's like, man, and choosing to do it. Like the idea that somebody just like, you know what? I want to do this. Why would you want to do that? Like that just doesn't seem to make sense to me. There are way better things to choose to do than that.
Well, I could choose to stand there, drink a beer, and clap for them, or I could try to do it. No, I think, and I wouldn't come close with this either, but it would be cycling as long as the seat. My butt hurts every time I get on one of those bicycles. Man, it starts to hurt. Like if it was some kind of cushion seat, I might be able to do that, but that's probably about it.
Well, again, I am not that type of person that can run a marathon. But if you are a marathon runner, or if you don't have to be a marathon runner, if you want to run the 5Ks and other races, or just run casually on your own, or maybe it's not even running, maybe it's walking. You want to make sure you do get the right shoes for you to avoid injuries and problems when you're out there running. And you can go to Fleet Feet to do that. 2 locations they've got for you. Laurelwood Shopping Center in East Memphis, out in Collierville, Poplar, and Houston Levy next to Huey's. You can go into either one of the 2 stores. They take a look at the way you run, the way you walk, and they'll fit you with shoes that are just right for you. And then, of course, if you want advice about getting started with running or training for a race, they're all runners. These are those people in there. They're like marathon runners and things like that. They'll be able to help you and give you that advice. They've got group runs and things that they do that you can get involved with. If you go to fleetfeetmemphis.com or follow them on social media, they'll keep you up to date with things they've got going on. Of course, they sponsor a lot of races around town as well. But for your shoes, for all your gear that you need, go see the folks at Fleet Feet, either one of their 2 locations.
And I'm reminded by a friend, let's give a shout out to all those great pictures you see at the Masters, all those great moments at the Masters. Of course, the director of the Masters on CBS, the great Seller Shy from Memphis, who does an unbelievable job. So thank you for that reminder. And thank you for all you do, Sellers Shy. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with our final segment. We've got a little baseball news to get into, some basketball news as well. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From the play-in tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. 90 seconds, all it takes. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Code HERD on DraftKings.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 do it signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 do it signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Early Monday morning to Friday.
Well, you just did a commercial for Fleet Feet, one of our great sponsors. And during the break, got a text from our good friend, Greg Hollenbeck, reminding everybody that the Gina Hollenbeck run will be coming up on May 18th, 2024, which will benefit those with Baptist and the Cancer Center. We lost Gina to cancer, just a great woman, and they have this run to raise money. It's $30 to register, so go online and register today and run in the 5K, or in Eli's case, drive your car. Whatever the case may be.
I can walk a 5K today.
I think I can walk a 5K.
I could go out and walk a 5K right now.
Yeah, I think I'm. Now, are you two-fisted when you're walking, or just got the one beer?
No, I don't drink during the race. You got to drink after the race, certainly. But I think I've done a total of 4 5Ks.
Have you?
5 5Ks. But there only one that I.
It's like 4 more than me.
There was only one that I ran the entire time. That was that first one that I trained for. I've done the Elvis 5K, and I've done the Harbortown 5K twice, I believe. I think that's it. I think those.
Did you have Rocky music when you were training?
I think I did.
Did you go to Russia?
I think I did the Firecracker 5K a second time too. I think I might have done 2. I think maybe I've had 5. I think I've done Firecracker twice, Harbortown twice, and Elvis once. That's my. And I'm a retired 5K runner. I hung up my running shoes.
Are you going to go into the track and field Hall of Fame?
See, I like on like Tiger, like I understood.
Cross country?
Like my body was telling me, we're not physically capable of doing this, so you need to quit. Like Tiger needs to understand that. Like the body sometimes is right. Like it will speak quite clearly to you. My lungs would scream at me like, you're not physically capable of doing this. And so I decided, you know what? I'll listen to my lungs.
Yeah, it's important. Listen to your lungs, listen to your heart, listen to your brain, more importantly. We were talking earlier about the Memphis Tigers basketball team and recruiting for Penny Hardaway, using the portal to his advantage, as obviously he had a depleted roster, so he has to fill it. And one of those names is Colby Rogers, according to reports, who is a prolific three-point shooter for Wichita State, has committed to Memphis for the 2024-25 season. Jason Munns has a story out where he spoke to Colby Rogers and said that P.J. Haggerty, who also committed to Memphis from Tulsa, had a hand in Memphis landing Rogers. He reached out to me, and he wanted me to play with him. Rogers told the Commercial Appeal, which is a great feeling. Another great player wants to play with me. That makes things easier. Of course, we had P.J. Haggerty on the radio show, and he said he was reaching out to players. So obviously one of those guys he reached out to was Colby Rogers. So now you look at the Memphis roster. P.J. Haggerty, Colby Rogers, Dane Danger, 3 newcomers. Jared Harris is the lone high school player coming in who had signed in November of 23. That's 4. Nick Jourdain, again, has verbalized that he's coming back. That would be 5. We still don't know about David Jones. And then you assume the walk-ons, Joe Cooper, Noah Stansbury. But Penny had 2 other players that were in town over the weekend. There's one, Bugs, that'll be coming in later on this week. There's another that we brought up earlier. There was a report of a story of a player from, Sam Houston, that's in there as well. That's looking at Memphis. Memphis has reached out to him. That's the kid who's from actually Collierville High School. So things really heating up for Memphis as Penny tries to put together this roster and seemingly do it earlier, where there's not guys still debating in August whether or not they want to play. You could start getting these guys together once they've finished their obligations, wherever they're coming from, to get them to Memphis and have a great summer together where they can learn to bond, which is extremely important.
In portal news, apparently DJ Wagner has entered the portal.
Next stop, Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes with Cal or if he goes somewhere else. But he is apparently in the portal. I would imagine pretty much the entire Kentucky roster will be gone.
Well,
all said and done.
Aren't you fired up for the Mark Pope era? Did you see the presser?
I did not watch the presser, no.
Fans went gaga, though, in his introduction, coming off the bus with all these former Kentucky players.
People will generally gather and like to listen to the Pope talk.
They like the Pope. They like the Pope. The white smoke came up, and it was Mark Pope from BYU. So, I don't know. I mean, I know there's excitement. And Rick Pitino, the St. John's coach, who was his coach at Kentucky when they won the national championship, talked about how great this guy is, how good a coach he is, but a leader and all that. So, Pitino's
also trying to get a home and home.
He'll probably get one.
He threw that out there. He wants a home and home with them.
He'll probably get one. And again, you try to sell the fan base on this move. And I don't know if Barnhart spoke or not. I just hope he didn't say, yes, he was our only choice because, he's lying through his teeth. But maybe it works out with a former player. Just because he's not the biggest name in the world doesn't mean he can't get players because he is coaching at Kentucky, and that they can have success. Speaking of basketball from the NBA, former Grizzly great Grayson Allen, 4-year, $70 million extension from the Suns.
He's a hell of a shooter, and shooters get paid. So good for Grayson.
I liked Grayson when he was here. I thought it was a loss losing the guy. I mean, he's been really good for Phoenix. That's a lot of money. They got to be in the tax, right? Phoenix?
Yes.
Who's it, Matt Ishbia? I don't think he cares about paying that tax. Folks, you want to get charged up for the summer? It is All-Star Chevrolet, All-Star Chevy season in Olive Branch. Test drive one of these new EV Blazers. It's still Chevy truck season, as I mentioned, so you're going to get deals on all the variety, from the new Silverado to the beautiful Equinox and Trailblazers. Check this out. The Silverado's financing down to 2.9 for 72 months. You're going to make thousands in the cash and trade, right? So you're going to get a lot of money for your old vehicle and for that trade-in to go to this new vehicle, whether it be a Silverado, maybe the Equinox, maybe the Trailblazer with 1.9% financing. And no payments for 90 days, so 3 months without having to lay down your cold, hard cash for the new vehicle you'll be driving in. If you want pre-owned, well, just about everything you want is there. And if it's not there, ask Kevin or Jeff. They'll find it for you. But Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverses with that third-row seating. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get an extra $500 bonus for being as good as you guys are, for doing what you do for all of us. So where are you going for your trips this summer? What are you going to be driving in? Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch. So get on out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
The Suns are over the second tax apron. They're one of 5 teams. I mean, they're but he obviously wants to, and again, that's why they will, regardless of what happens here, in all likelihood, they're going to run it back. It would be very hard for them to do much with their roster.
So do they have the list of the other teams?
Yeah, it's them, the Warriors, the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Clippers.
So not the Lakers?
Lakers are not second apron, no. I don't know. Because the Lakers, out after LeBron and Anthony, they don't have the third really high-paid guy like these other teams do.
Okay. Is Memphis in the first apron?
Not right now. They're below it. But with a first-round draft pick, they'll be right there. That's why, they're going to have to do some stuff. I'm not exactly sure exactly where they are, but they're with a first-round draft pick salary with where they're going to be picking. That's going to it's going to put them really close, if not into the first apron, based on what they currently have.
Is that with Kennard?
Yes, that would be with Kennard.
Okay, so if they trade Kennard or do something with Kennard and don't have that salary, then they'll be fine, correct?
Yeah, but with Kennard, if you're trading him because they are where they are salary-wise, they're going to have to take salary back.
Okay.
They could trade him to a team under the cap if some team is under the cap and wants Kennard. The problem is, Kennard is probably going to be a contender that would want Luke Kennard for one season. And so they're probably not going to be on a tax. Now, some teams, I guess there could be some team that just wants an expiring deal. But more likely, Kennard would be a contender, and most of the contenders are not under the cap where they could take on salary.
Major League Baseball news over the weekend. Spencer Strider out for the season. We talked about his injury last week, but we had not known the end result. The UCL right elbow, who have surgery, gone for the year. Braves still expected to be one of the top, if not the top teams in the National League. But when you have the Dodgers and you have the Padres and you have other teams with a lot of star power, Philadelphia being one of them, that's a big loss for them.
Huge loss. The 3 letters you never want to hear for a pitcher is UCL, and so that's a massive loss. Again, they do have depth in the starting pitching rotation, but you're talking about one of the best pitchers in the game, so that's obviously a massive loss for them.
Lawn Solutions is a locally owned weed control fertilization company that serves the greater Memphis area. You can contact them at 901-867-5626 or go online to lawnsolutionsinc.net. It's a family-owned and operated company. Call Brandon Holly. Tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings. They're not a lawn and mowing service. They take care of your lawn. They treat your lawn. They do it all year long. They control the germination of weeds. So if you're using them, then they've been there in the winter months. And right now, while spring is being sprung, those weeds aren't sprung. They are nowhere in sight. But if you haven't used them, you have the weeds, they can kill those weeds for you as well. It's a lot easier to prevent the weeds from popping up than it is to kill them, but they can do that. They can take care of any disease your lawn has or any insect infestation. Give them a call. The best in the area. It's Lawn Solutions. LawnSolutionsInc.net is the website. Find out more about them or call them at 901-867-5626. So again, tonight, the WNBA draft and a big night for Caitlin Clark, who brought some of her teammates, by the way, onto the Saturday Night Live set for their show Saturday with Ryan Gosling as host. I'm sure that was a kick for them to do that, but tonight she'll be in the spotlight. And the NBA postseason will begin tomorrow. The Grizzlies will start their exit interviews in just a few moments, so I'll be curious to hear what they have to say about the offseason, especially Zach Kleiman. We'll have more on that tomorrow on the program. Jeff Crane will join us from the University of Memphis. We'll talk golf with Mickey Barker tomorrow. Humdinger's Trivia as well. Catch us beginning at 7 a.m. Our thanks today to Dory Sellers-Gaston for joining us from the Boston Marathon. Wello and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great Monday, everybody.